York City, New York. If the Knicks is in the Mecca, yeah, let me hear you give it up. The Knicks is in the Mecca, yeah, let me hear you give it up. The Knicks is in the Mecca, yeah, let me hear you give it up. The Knicks is in the Mecca, yeah, let me hear you give it up. This is New York City, home of the Knicks, baby. Yeah, we back on track. The Mecca's going crazy. Rim rocking, shot blocking, ball. We are not stopping, aiming at that chip with a bullseye on the target. It's been so many years, that's how bad we really want it. From the city to the garden, we all be blue and orange, and everybody starving. Hell yeah, hungry for a ring. Got a team full of hungry hoopers all going in. We back. Oh yeah, we back. Let me hear you give it up. The Knicks is in the Mecca, yeah. Let me hear you give it up. The Knicks is in the Mecca, yeah. Let me hear you give it up. The Knicks is in the Mecca, yeah. Let me hear you give it up. The Knicks is in the Mecca, yeah. Let me hear you give it up. We back. We back. We back.
Forbes and Phillips in the building. My God, what's good?
And I salute the new Knicks. Let's get it.
Shout out to the new Knicks.
The new Knicks, salute my guy.
The new Knicks, the organic podcast.
Uh-oh. Sounds like it's about to go down in here. Going down. New York City, NYC, Borough. Brooklyn, Staten in the Bronx. Manhattan, Queens, what you want? We want the Knicks. We want the Knicks. We want the Knicks. We want the Knicks. Brooklyn, Staten in the Bronx. Manhattan, Queens, what you want? We want the Knicks. We want the Knicks. This is for the win. We want the Knicks.
You're que lo que mi gente, you know what it is. You heard a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Is there gonna be a little bit of this? We'll see. What up with you guys? It's your boy Ruel, 1/4 of the host here. Our other hosts are out and about driving, so I had to take the responsibility today. You know what it is. It's your boy Ruel, friend of the Most High. I got the squad with me. Did you miss us? We was out for a little bit. We had to let the smoke clear. Some of us was in our feelings. I would admit I would be one of those. I was in my feelings a little bit here. You know what I'm saying? If you see a teardrop, don't mind me. But I'm back at it again. I got the squad with me. I got my brother, de la sangre, the new Knicks. Talk to him, Circle, okay? He's in an Uber.
Everybody, hold on. I'm trying to get my sound right.
My mic sounds nice. Check. Machete.
What's poppin', everybody? Welcome to the TOF. Welcome back home. It's been a minute. We back. Yeah, I mean, and Knicks Nation is upside down, but we still here.
We feeling like Machete's looking right now with his camera all sideways. We ain't straight right now. We feeling some kind of way. There we go. Hold on, we got to get it right. Hey, so speaking of getting it right, Machetazo, Machete, what's up?
Hey,
Can't hear you.
let's
Can't hear you,
talk
can't-
some basketball without that basketball. Yeah, what's going on, New York City? What's going on, cuz? How's everybody been? Two shots, what's up?
Que lo que es mi gente de la 110.
Yeah,
they
what's
need to
up to
hear
110th Street? What's up to 110th Street? Amsterdam. Yeah, let's talk about some Knicks, man. We haven't spoken since the last series. It was very disappointing, but it is what it is, man. A lot's gone on, and we just move on. Let's just go.
All right, so
Talk about-
Machete is one that he doesn't let things linger. He just moves on. He's just quick to go with. He's quick to cut the cord. But before we move on, we can't move on without the other dude over there, brother from another mother, from different father, same father, I should say, different mother, but most high. 2 shots, dos traguitos, dos balazos.
Bang! What's up to the panel? What's up to the chat? Replay game. You know the vibes. If you like the video, like the video. I think you guys know why I'm smiling. If you don't know, or if you do know, comment and let me know. Let's
Whatever would that
go.
do? Hey, and we can't forget there would be no
This nigga
show.
just sounded like Super Mario.
Let's go.
It's me, Mario.
There cannot be no
It's a
show.
me, two shot.
There cannot be no show without the bro. M Special in the building, the freaking Rican, that guy behind the keyboards, Mr. Wizard of Oz himself. Is he there?
Specialist.
Dale.
Salute to the specialist.
Yeah, he.
Buzz.
I
Oh, you and my brother are so emotional.
let's let him get it out, bro. He's been bottled up. You gotta let those out
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
Yo,
Yo, espérate. Hold on.
Yeah.
don't release that energy here, bro.
I think Mikey needs a trip to DR this summer.
It's a different kind of release. That's not the type of.
Listen, we need a GoFundMe for Mikey. You know what I mean?
Hey, salute to the chat, salute to live gang, replay gang, salute to Buzzer Beater. Buzz, appreciate you, brother, for always being in it. Ain't no fun if the homies can't have some, and I don't even know where that went. But anyway, salute to you, Buzzer Beater in the building. Can look at my my brother even muted his wow.
Boy, I have
Wow. Listen, it's been a long week and a half, long 2 weeks. It's been a struggle. It's been a pain point.
It's been a long time.
It's been a rough week to say the least. As we all know, the news heard round the world, which the news was so big that it overpowered all of the NBA that nobody was even watching for the Indiana Pacers and OKC game. They was just talking about what had happened in the Knicks universe. And to my unfortunate heartbreak here, Tom Thibodeau, and before I even get to it, which this guy has his black hoodie as the Undertaker over there. Before we even get to that, I just want to say, and I'm pretty sure everybody's going to jump in and give their thoughts on it. Salute to Thomas Thibodeau. We appreciate you. The Knickerbockers would not be here without him.
Excuse me.
Salute,
Yo, 2
salute,
shots.
salute.
Yo, 2 shots. Please wipe that smile off that face. Stop adjusting your hoodie. Like you really tensing me up over here. Pause.
You can't listen.
Yo, you a little too excited.
Listen,
Let my brother get through.
I'm address his eulogy. We're at the funeral. You can't be laughing while we got the casket here, bro. At least
Ding, I'm partying over here, boy.
Can you guys escort him out of the funeral home, please? Anyway, salute to Thomas Thibodeau. Salute to Thibbs, man. What a phenomenal 5 years, in my opinion. And I'm pretty sure everybody's going to chip in on here. He took us from ashy to classy. Like Biggie said, he took us from the gutter to no other level. We had to the sky is the limit. We went from 17 to 250 win seasons. The most winning Knicks coach, if I'm not mistaken, on there. It made it to 500 in the playoff record on there. Turned 2 players to All-NBA players, All-Star players. Jalen Brunson 2 years in a row as an All-Star. He turned All-NBA player for Julius Randle, who wasn't even wanted at some point in time. Turned him to an NBA All-Star. Turned him to an All-NBA player. Reaching numbers only that Giannis and Jokic were doing at the time. Transform Emmanuel quickly from a second-round pick or late first-round pick to a $175 million player. Calm down, brother. Wait a minute. We got to give the guy his flowers the right way.
Wrap it up.
Because a lot of people are just talking about Thibodeau, but they don't give the flowers of what he did. He set the foundation to what you, sir, who you've been saying you have not seen winning in the history since you've been a Knicks fan, and it was due to Thibodeau. to getting us to 4 playoff out of 5 years. So success to that. New Knicks. Let me get the Tom Thibodeau fans first, appreciators. New Knicks, Thibodeau, what he meant to you, what he did for the New York Knicks organization. Your thoughts on him and what is his tenure first, and we'll talk about his exit.
Shout out, full brim salute to Tom Thibodeau, Mr. Culture himself, the culture setter. The authenticity of New York City. When you speak of city and squad, when you speak of basketball, all you know is Tom Thibodeau, and he set the culture for New York City when we was ass backwards for amount of years since I've been born. I want to salute Tom Thibodeau for, all the accolades that my brother said, for getting us right. And when the announcement was made, you could see the faces. You could see the faces of everyone in Knicks. Okay, you could see everyone in Knicks Nation was sick, from media, from players. I mean, it was just a decision that nobody saw coming, especially with a 250-win season, get into the Eastern Conference Finals, and getting us to where our mindset is, and he's done so much for the city. He's done so much for New York Knicks culture and basketball. And this will be documented in history. The history cannot be erased of what he did. And I'm definitely grateful to Tom Thibodeau. And hopefully, whoever replaces Thibodeau could do half the job that he did,
And we're gonna get to that. Before I get to Machete, Mr. Move On himself, let me go to M Special, because I know I know Machete's gonna go right into the next coach. He's going into the draft picks. M Special, your thoughts on what Thibodeau meant to the Knicks, what he did for the Knicks, what you've seen in the 5 years. Your thoughts on that? Yeah. Are you muted? You're gonna have to say all that over.
My bad.
Appreciate y'all letting us in the chat. He was. Go ahead. Now you got to say it again. Thank y'all. Appreciate the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Keith.
Go ahead.
Well, like I said, like what can you say? Tom Thibodeau took us from the gutter to the laughingstock of the NBA to the Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying? His record speaks for itself. The city should fucking name a street after his ass.
Oh, Lord.
And I mean, I feel like we cut him a year too short. You know what I mean? Like, nobody expected us to beat the Celtics this year. Whether they would have fired him if we didn't beat the Celtics, I don't know. Maybe that was already in the works. But I don't know. I feel like he could have used one more year with this team, because this is the first year this team was put together. So we did sign him to an extension. So it was like weird. I think they kind of caved into the fans' pressure. But hey, look, salute to you, Tom. Wherever you go next, hopefully you have the same success.
I appreciate you for your comment. Machete, your thoughts on Tom Thibodeau?
First of all, you can't go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 4,
3.
Now, okay. Listen.
I know he's gonna go left. That's why I know where you were going. That's why I know where you're going. You're my cousin. I know.
I'm not trying.
That's some family shit, because I didn't get none of that.
I know exactly where he's gonna go. Dale, he already turning.
No, as far as Tom Thibodeau, man, yo, I love that. I love that man. He really got New Yorkers, New York Knicks fans through some hard times, man. Because he became the coach. He's the reason we started the show practically. Because we were so hyped up about the Knicks that we got inspired. That's when really we started really doing the show.
Fact.
When he was in tenure, he got us through COVID. When we
Good
were
point. Good point. Good point.
when the city was going through stuff. I'm not saying he's Reed Richards or anybody like that, but he got the Fantastic Four started in the Baxter Building Foundation set in New York City. You know, Tom Thibodeau did a lot for the Knicks culture and gave back hope to the guys who been fans for the last 20, 25 years, to the fans who were there 30, 35 years, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. He's got guys who've been lifetime Knicks fans with new life. He's given us new life. We got a lot to thank that man for, man. He's got his roots in New York. I mean, in Connecticut. He's from Connecticut, but his NBA career, his foundations was New York City, was with the Knicks. So I'm all Tom Thibodeau all day long. You know, does he have is he stubborn? Yeah. He's proven over and over that he's stubborn. He doesn't like playing rookies or extending his bench, you know? And it's too bad. It was to his detriment, but it is what it is. But his character, his culture, he brought it back to New York City. We could do it. We were fortunate. His ties with Jalen Brunson and Rick Brunson, the whole thing, the way it played out. Leon Rose, the whole thing and the way it played out was just coincidence, and it was great for the Knicks. Hopefully that can continue. You know what I mean? Going forward. You know, because we need somebody who's going to expand and a little bit younger, who's gonna, able to expand and communicate better with the players.
That's why I went to Special. I knew he's gonna advance it. I knew it. That's why I went to Special, because I know.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm waiting for Leon Rose to fucking wake up and say, yo, I was drunk, it was a mistake.
I lied.
Re-signing Thibbs.
All right, hold on.
But you guys are criticizing because you know what, that as the news as it comes out now, it wasn't the case. What you're saying was that.
Manito, espérate. I gotta get everybody their turn, and then I'm gonna let you jump right into the future. That's why I put
let's go to the chat.
Let me get 2 shots. Let me get 2 shots, and I'm gonna go through the chat. There's an order here. I'm trying to get everybody's opinion here. Even though, all right, we're gonna skip 2 shots. We're gonna skip 2 shots. 2 shots doesn't have really much to say. 2 shots before you go down and unload and empty your clip. For this particular part, Justice, because you have your chance. You'll have your chance, young Jedi. What positive could you take, or what can you at least give some feedback that you think of was positive of Thibodeau in the 5 years that you saw from the previous 5 years that you were a Knicks fan? Doesn't say you have to give flowers, but anything positive you can take away from his tenure.
I suggest you talk nice.
All right, so yeah, before I show my happiness and express my happiness for him leaving, I do want to say thank you to Thomas Thibodeau. Before him, there was a lot of disappointment. There was a lot of bad times, 15-win seasons, somewhere along the line, 20-win seasons, the Kurt Rambis of the world, the Fizdales, the Fishers, the list goes on and on. We've seen it all, bro. We've been to the bottom of the barrel, and we stayed there for years. So for him to come here, take us out of that, and put us in a high rise. I am very thankful. I've said it once and I've said it and I'll say it again. He may not have been the perfect coach, but he is a damn good floor raiser. Okay, he took us from the basement and now we're in the penthouse. So for that, I am eternally grateful. I just want to get that out the way before I start dancing in his grave. Bye-bye, motherfucker. Yes, I am very excited that he's gone.
You
You know, it's like a kind of like a bittersweet moment because you know I've been shouting this out for years now. I feel like he just hit that ceiling and he couldn't break that ceiling. And
Wow.
you know, it is what it is. I am once again eternally grateful. Fuck out of here about naming streets after him. I don't need anything else from him and his stubborn ass. I'm grateful. You got your 30 mil. You can go to the fucking Bahamas and chill for the next couple years. Recover, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Be gone, motherfucker. Now let's bring somebody new in.
Damn.
Some fresh blood.
Hey, you and Leon Rose are on the same fucking page because both of y'all niggas quit without having a secondary job. And so now you're lingering in fucking space, going on hopes and wishes. Fuck out of here.
All right. So we got everybody gave their
I don't
opinion
know
on
what
it.
any of that
Listen,
meant, but okay.
listen. Everybody got their opinion out there, which we all get.
This, we fired Thibbs, and there's no plan. There's no that's like quitting a job without already having another job lined
Don't blame
up.
me, but I had a plan.
Hold on.
Johnny Bryant.
So let
called for it. Obviously, you and Leon Rose had a little conversation, and y'all was on the same fucking page.
I wish we did, because Johnny Bryant would have been hired already.
Hey, before you guys go left, let me go to the chat and then hold on. Before you guys go left, which it's already happening.
Who's emotional Knicks?
Emotional damage. Hey, before y'all go off on that, let me read the chat. Let me everybody.
Me like I did something wrong, bro. I'm just
do you? It's fine. You guys all said your point. Let me get to the chat. Everybody express their point. We got to get to the chat, and then we'll go and address these other topics at hand. Hold on. Hey, salute to Buzzer B, the first one in, last one out. That boy's like a Marine. Hey, salute to you. Appreciate you. Your mic sounds nice. Check one. Greetings from the ATL, Keith Watkins. There you go, Mr. Moderator. Peace up, A-Town. Down. We see you. Appreciate you, brother. See if you out there where you're cheering. You got the grand cheering with you. Salute to Daniel Berry Sports. Salute to you. Que lo que. Let me get to the other family here. Finally on, feeling much better. Missed the last few weeks. Glad to be back. So he says he's glad he's here. Appreciate what Thibbs did for us, but he took this team as far as he could. So Buzzer Beater says he thanks Thibbs, but he thinks that Thibbs hit his ceiling of where he can take the team. We'll come back to any of that. Keith Watkins says, did I miss any left turns as we were starting? It's always left turn. We start with the wheels always angled, bro. It's always going left. It's a hard part trying to get it to go straight, brother. It's a workout for me. Listen,
one thing about the TOF, we do not work with power steering. Oh, soundboard.
Hey. Oh, here we go. Hey, and salute to Fritz Alcindor Jr.
Yeah, I'm
pretty sure they can. Don't get excited. He's trigger happy over there. Salute to Fritz Alcindor Jr. He's always in Knicks Fan TV. Salute to you. First time in the chat, seeing you out there. Appreciate you. He's always in the spaces. Usually on Knicks Fan TV, if I'm not mistaken. Salute to you. Good mind. I see he's always working on the numbers. Full brim salute to you, sir. Appreciate you. First time. Hopefully it's not the last time for you. Fritz says Thibbs has been a dead man walking. He was in 2023 Budholzer mode. It was win it all or go home. Let me see here.
Don't do that.
Let's not forget, and then Keith Watkins says, let's not forget we won 38 games the 2 seasons prior to Thibbs. Much respect to Thibbs. Salute to that. Appreciate that, Keith Watkins. I definitely agree. Buzzer Beater asked to put a post out there, a poll, which I did. I put the poll out there. If you're happy that Thibbs is gone? Yes or no? And then we'll put another one later. We're not fans of polls out here, but
Hey, yo.
I'll say a survey. We don't. We'll do. I'll do a census. We'll do a census out there.
Yeah.
Uh,
No.
Fritz says to Keith Watkins, we need more. He lacked in more the coaching 94 feet. His people skills were awful. He wasn't good coach for the modern player and the front office. That's Fritz's opinion on there, which we'll go through.
All valid.
Let me see. Wait, hold on, guys. Let me get to it here. See, am I missing anything? Actually, and then Keith Watkins says, Fritz, I could agree with you as it relates to his people skills. But who's available that's better? We'll talk about that in a second here. Fritz also says this was the best time to fire him. I agree on that. Allow the assistants to get the jobs. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you in a second here. So let me address that real quick. That's what I was saying. Only because it's offseason. Not saying that I agree with the firing, but look what they did to Mike Malone. Mike Malone, they fired him two months or a month before playoffs. This other Terry, the dude from Memphis Grizzlies, they fired him a week before the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like the timing, I'm saying. If you're gonna make a change, do it early enough to where the new coach you're gonna get can institute what he wants to do. They can get in alignment with the front office and figure out what they want to do going towards the offseason drafts and whatnot. I'm saying the timing itself. If it was gonna happen, this would be better. Even though me personally, I'm with you, Knicks. I think, and with M Spesh, I think Thibbs deserved the other time to at least December, but I can understand doing it early enough to where you can have someone else.
They pulled the old fucking Mark Jackson on the nigga. That's it.
Listen, I'm not saying I don't agree with you. Salute to Nick Yak. Nick Yak's in the building. He said, I'm not glad because there wasn't a coach available we wanted that might be better. Okay. Yep. And then Keith Watkins says, hardest working host in the podcast game. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. These guys almost had me quitting last week. I love my family, but no.
Hey, if
I was in my fields. I was in my fields. I ain't even gonna lie. These dudes done brought.
Hey, my brother handed over the passwords, the emails.
Yeah, I take that.
Bro, if there was a ledge, woof.
Oh
that shit
man,
was invisible.
Buzzer beaters laughing because.
Listen,
Yo, you got a violin sound in there?
World's smallest violin. Listen, you had the two show niggas about to go, boy. We on strike. Hell no.
No.
We was about to protest like the ICE people. Hey,
you had two shots trying to convince Mikey and my brother. Like, bro, I need a friend. The show is like almost everything.
Anyway, we'll get at it. But yes, these Hebrews, bro. Now I know how Moses felt in the Bible. Dealing with these Hebrews, like, why, Father? Just take me. Just take me. Hey, salute to y'all. And then Buzzer Beater says, polls. Yeah, I get it. No Diddy. Absolutely. Surveys, census. We're going to say something else other than polls, all right? Fritz also says, you don't need a better coach to get a better result. You need the coach that fits with our front office and MLB. Joe Torre is a GOAT, but he wasn't great X's and O, but he knew what his team needed. All right, so let's get into that. I want either Kid or Brian, is what Buzzer Beater says. So let's look at it real quick. What happened, boom. They done shot the guy. He's dead. Bang, bang, he's dead. Now, we gotta put on our thinking hat in a sense. For 5 years, what did this front office do? In the 5 years that we're looking at, Leon Rose has typically, there's maybe one time I could say that he maybe miscalculated or made a bad move. Overall, his moves, Fournier and what's his name? That's probably the only move that I can say that maybe he misstepped on that. Kemba and Fournier. That's probably the only thing that I can say that I see that wasn't as great. I saw the idea, it was low, but anyway. But even with that, everything that he's done has been pre-calculated from what I've seen. He's playing chess. I think he's above. He understands everything. He knows players. He knows coaches. He's been the top.
Okay. And what about this move? Because
Well, that's
now, I mean, nobody's saying that anybody's out of the way because nothing's said and done officially. But now, this shit just looks ridiculous to make a move like this and not have things lined up where you're just taking guessing games. There was never nobody available. There was never nobody available. Better
what do
than
you mean by
Thibbs?
that?
Who?
Okay.
I mean, if you're firing Thibbs, right, and you're banking on trying to beg Dallas or beg one of these other coaches to get out of their fucking situation for a bigger bag, which I mean anybody's gonna take a bag that New York throws at them, but not every coach is built for New York. You can't bro. Yeah, everybody is asking for Johnny Bryant. What if Johnny Bryant cracks under the pressure of the media, cracks under the pressure of the fan base when they see him outside and ankle? Like, come on, bro. Not everybody's built for the pressure. That's why KD never came here. That's why Kyrie never came here. That's why a lot of people did not to come to the Knicks. They want to excuse it as, oh, the team, the city, the owner, the coaches. They always want to say some shit about New York and not coming here when at the end of the day, they don't got the motherfucking balls to fucking put on this jersey and rock this fucking city, nigga. Are you fucking crazy?
I don't think, Phil, that it was a matter of...
I'm not going to sit here and attack a man's character like that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Machete, and then you go two shots.
I'm just going to say, I'm not going to sit here and attack a man's character and say that he doesn't have the balls and this, that, and the third, or blah, 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 especially when he doesn't have any experience. My reasoning behind it was very simple. He lost the locker room. I mean, you could say that he didn't, but he did because McCall started speaking out.
No. Hold on. Yeah.
Let him finish. Let him finish. Let him finish.
But the topic is about the next coach. We're not talking about Thibbs anymore. Why are we bringing up Thibbs? We're talking about the next coach or the next player or the next person to come play for this organization. You got to be built a certain way. Yeah, a lot of people crack under pressure, bro. This city busts pipes, bro. Everybody knows that. We're not talking about Thibbs. Thibbs is a story.
Let Machete go. Go, Machete.
Listen, man, you're talking about this is open country out here, bro. We can talk about all we want. We're talking about coaches, bro. Past, present, what's to come, whatever you want. This is what we're talking about right now. You know, we're grieving. What you're saying is we're mourning a great coach like Thibbs who was able to handle the New York media. You know, he was tough. He was known as a tough, greedy guy, even in Chicago. You know, he's a blue collar guy. But it is what it is, man. He's gone. I'm sorry to say. I love Thibbs. But it goes deeper than what Two Shots was trying to say about losing the locker room. He already had lost Worldwide West. Worldwide West really wasn't with Thibbs and the way he was handling things. So they gave him a chance, even after the first year, because they already saw that he was. Wait a minute, let me finish.
But you gotta let them finish, bro. You gotta let them finish their points.
2 minutes, bro. Let us make our points, because you want to interrupt every second. But my point is that, you know, Worldwide West didn't want him after the first year because there was already chatter that he's a stubborn guy. It was already out there. People were already saying it. Like people like Two Shots were already saying it. Half the fan base was saying it. We just kept him because of his history and what he did actually. What he did. Hold on.
Let them finish their points, bro.
Because there was like three phases with the Knicks. We went through three. First, it was the youth movement. Then it was Mobb Deep. Then we were gonna roll with going back to Obi Toppin, going back to all these guys in the beginning when they first got here. The only one that we kept out of everyone that we had since when he first got here is Mitch Rob. But I give it to you, Phil, because he was able to. It's true, able to develop these young guys, and they moved on and they played better on other teams. But that's besides the point. You know, but the point is that West didn't want him already a while ago. He already put that chatter out there in Leon's ear. Leon's ear gave him a chance because of their history, right? So then it all played out, and it played out exactly like what everybody else said. Everybody was saying,
we talking about Thibbs?
They played till they got injured. At the end, we got tired. We couldn't go any further because we had played long minutes more than anybody. We had 7 of our players were top 20.
Hold that thought, Knicks. Hold that thought, Knicks.
Mike. No. I can't hold the thought. I can't hold the thought. Y'all niggas is talking, going that. This is going left because everybody's talking about Thibbs, what he did. What we already know. Everything you're reiterating, bro. Everything you're saying is hot air. I'm talking about the next person. I'm talking about the next personnel.
Hold on.
Why are
All right.
going back to
Crash out season 3.
New Knicks. Hold on. Let me hold on. Both of you guys. Hold on. All of you guys. Hold on. New Knicks. I understand what you're saying, but as a fan base, which some people in the chat, just listen. Hold on. People want to address this. People want to address this, and they have to express their opinion. There's people in the chat that want to hear what Two Shots was trying to say. They also want to talk about what led to Thibbs firing, that they want to understand what happened there, and then we can go into the other coaches and what you're trying to address. But people have to, they want to find out, they want to talk about what happened with Thibbs and what they felt opinion-wise. And what you're saying is right. But people in the chat want to talk about it. People in the chat are asking about it. They want to hear what Two Shots was saying. They're listening to Machete. So other people, all right? So just hold that thought. You may want to move on. We're already there, but other people want to hear that. So we'll let them express that. Go ahead, Machete, and then Two Shots, you next. Two Shots, I wanted to hear what you had to say, and then Machete could jump in on that when you're talking. So while New Knicks is getting ready and going through that, we'll get back to that New Knicks. What do you guys think, since we're talking about it and people in the chat want to know, and that's been the big thing of all the media in general, why people think that they got rid of Thibbs or what happened, as you were talking about, what were some of the things that you think that either Thibbs could have done better, or why you think the front office made that decision to let go, or Leon Rose to let go of Thibodeau, and what you think we need from what you see he lacked, that what we can get from the new coach, but basically why they got rid of Thibodeau. That's what you were talking about. What was your points you were making?
Yeah. So what I was saying was,
he lost the locker room. He lost the locker room.
Yeah. So he lost the locker room, whatnot. And obviously everybody knows that he's stubborn and he got his ways about him, and that's great for him. It got him much success. Kudos, whatever. But we need somebody that is more adaptable, somebody that can change, somebody that can adjust in real time. And I feel as though Thibodeau is part of an era in the NBA that is not the current era. I've said it before, I'll say it again. He's like a dinosaur. Let him go. He's in the past. I mean, for as great a coach as he is, he's just not up with the times. We need somebody that's going to implement a creative offense to incorporate the 4 great offensive players we have them in harmony, so that, you can have your backdoor screens, your cuts, your pin downs, your pick and rolls, all of that. So somebody that can mix all of that and maximize the true potential of this team. Not only that, but he's supposed to be a defensive coach, but our defense was giving up 115, 120 points a game, sometimes 130 or more. Like, if you're known for your defense, that shouldn't be happening. And then my last point that I want to make is, if you get rid of Thibodeau, then don't hire another Thibodeau. With all due respect to these guys, the Mike Malones of the world, the Budenholzers, All these guys that have been in the league 10, 15, 20 years, you got rid of somebody like that. I mean, if you're just going to hire someone else like that, then just stay with what you got. I'm going to stay with the devil I know because that's the devil I know. I'm not going to go somewhere new. If you fired Thibodeau, it's because you want to pivot to a different direction. You want somebody new. You want fresh blood. Yes, you need a new voice, but you need new ideas also. And that's why I keep bringing up Johnny Bryant, because he's the devil I don't know. Yes, he might be worse, but you got to take a chance on somebody new. I was reading a chart the other day that said for the past 4 or 5 seasons, there's been a brand new head coach in the finals. A new coach, the OKC coach, new coach. Nobody heard of him before.
What about
and
Rick
for like
Carlisle?
4 or 5 years before that, it's a new coach in the finals. So why not follow the trend and bring in fresh new blood? That's my point. That's all.
Machete.
Phil, check your camera, Phil. Phil, check your camera. Say, look, man, 2 shots, man. I don't know what you want, bro. It's like look, I give you that. Okay, everything you were saying about Thibbs' coaching style, it was frustrating, and so you and a majority of fans, a lot of fans, were right. But that what was your solution? You're no different than Leon Rose is looking right now, not having a solution. Let me finish a second. Not having a solution and getting rid of Thibbs and not having a solution. You're doing the same thing. You don't have a solution. Who are you gonna put out? Okay, I understand your gripe, but who are you gonna put out? But give me an answer, like Dwight always said.
But I just did, bro. I just told you Johnny Bryant.
Because they deal with the problem. But the thing is that they couldn't go forward with Thibbs anymore because there were players who weren't gonna go and play anymore for the Knicks if he was gonna stick around. So I think that they probably would have paid the players a little bit more attention because they're paying them more money. So you're gonna pay them. It's a players' league right now. It isn't. They're not gonna listen to the coaches like they do in Europe, like in the European leagues. This is the NBA, bro. They're gonna listen to all the guys and I think that the guys, it looks like got all together and decided that he's not using us. Like Mikal was the first one to voice it. So this must have been something that they talked about. If they're saying Thibbs and Leon weren't talking for like almost a year, then this sounds like they knew it was already coming. So what Thibbs did, it seems like I'm not being I'm sounding like a conspiracy theorist, but this is my thought that they already figured out that they weren't gonna go with him any further if he didn't go past the first round, that he got us as far as the Eastern Conference. I'll give that to Thibbs because you know what? If it was like, okay, you guys gave me 30 mil and you guys aren't liking me because already Worldwide West is not liking me, and you guys are already, I'm already feeling like I'm not wanted here. I'm at least gonna give you 1 year. I'm gonna give you guys at least the Eastern Conference, at least. And he played him, and maybe he just didn't play guys on purpose, knowing that he was gonna get let go. That's what it seems like. That's what it sounds like. Because guys were already voicing opinion. The fucking Josh Hart was already out there in the court making, confronting the coach. That was crazy, man. And Thibbs give Thibbs his credit, man. All these guys that play for him have either gone to play on and have better. Randall still went into the playoff. DiVincenzo still went into the playoff. Okay, we got rid of him. They developed you still got to give. They developed a year and a half, 3 years under Coach Thibbs. You got to give him that, man. You guys, there's nobody out there with a better record that you can get than Thibbs right now. So he's getting the last lap because he's got his money. He could be okay, lay low for a little while, then come back as a broadcaster. Who knows? That could happen. The Knicks.
Nobody's taking his accomplishments away from him. I already gave him his flowers at the beginning of the show. And all I'm saying is, once again,
One at a
if
time.
you
One at a time, guys. One at a time, guys. One at a
all
time.
I'm saying is, if it was me and I was Leon,
Squad.
Machete, we can't. Machete, hold on, pause. When you guys talk over each other, no one can hear you. It shuts everything off. That's the way this system works.
My last question. Excuse me. My last question to Two Shots is that were you already when he was on the squad hoping for Johnny Bryant?
was I what?
Repeat the question,
Was he
Machete.
when he was on the squad? Were you wishing that he was already the coach when he was on the squad? Is that why you say? Because you got no.
Oh, Johnny Bryant? Yeah, absolutely. Listen. We brought Bryant here before Spider was a free agent because we wanted Spider. I get that. All right, cool. We brought him here. He was being groomed. He was here for 4 years, 4 or 5 years. I can't tell. Whatever.
Three years.
3 years, whatever the case. But he was here. He knows the media. He knows the players. All the players rave about him, about his communication skills, about how good he is. He has a relationship with the front office already. So why not? If you're gonna fire Thibbs, why not just slide him into the head coaching spot?
All right, let me.
He should have never went to Cleveland.
All right, hold on. Before you go, M Spesh, you got anything to jump in on here on why your thoughts? They let go of. You may still be working. I'm pretty sure M Spesh is working.
I'm here.
Okay, there you go. All right. What are some of your thoughts that you think either led to the firing, if you think, or what are some of your opinions on that? Why Leon made the move?
There's like a
If you haven't.
few theories. My thing was maybe we exceeded expectations, and then the way the series went with the Pacers, everything just kind of came up, right? And he doesn't play many players in the bench. When he did put the players in the bench, they actually did okay. They actually did good. We were actually a positive, I think, when the bench was in. You know, with what's his name? Is it Delon? Delon Wright?
Delon Wright.
Yeah.
And what's this other guy? I always forget his name, man. Shamit.
Landry.
You know what I'm saying? Shamit. So like they didn't actually like do bad. You know what I'm saying? They did pretty good. So seeing that and then the way we lost, I think that just kind of like led them to go in a different direction, bro.
Yeah, but you also. I'm sorry. Did you finish?
But let me say one more thing. As why I think it was a bad firing. The timing was right, but I think it was a bad firing. He just got this team, right? He just got Cat. Didn't Cat get traded like right before training camp?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
they didn't have like a full-fledged training camp to implement his system with this team. You know what I mean? Got to the Eastern Conference Final, 2 wins away from the finals. He can come back next offseason, come up with a new strategy, maybe trade a couple of bench players to get some better bench players, maybe some with defense, or more defense so we can have more defense on the team. So now you get rid of the coach, right? Who's going to come in? Who has the balls, to come in and coach this team where the expectation next year has to be championship or bust? Right?
That's a great point.
Right? Are you am I right? So who's gonna come in? Then you're gonna bring Leon Rose's message was. Hold on, I'm almost done. 2 shots.
Go for it.
Leon Rose's message was, we're moving in a different direction because we expect to win a championship. Right? So you can't bring in an unproven guy and expect to win a championship next year.
Talk.
All right? You have to bring in somebody that has championship experience. Who out there?
So who do you think that is?
The only
we're
one.
Gonna talk about it. Hold on. We're gonna address that, but let him finish his point.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to bring in somebody that's gonna elevate you to the championship level. That's why I think it was a bad firing. But 2 shots, I do agree with you. He lost the locker room. He lost the locker room. He lost the locker room. People in the chat saying he's not really a people person. I mean, you've seen this guy talk to the media, right? They ask him a question. He says like 2 words. You know, it's hilarious when he talks to the media. You know what I'm saying? But I just felt like it was the wrong time right now. I feel like this is a step back for the Knicks.
Let me jump in before you go. Before you go, Suzanne. Got it. I
just
want to
told
trust on that.
you the past 4 or 5 seasons, it's been a brand new head coach, first year coach, to take them to the finals and win. I just told you that. So you can't tell me that an unproven coach
It was just
cannot
one
win
coach.
because
One
it's been done already.
It's one. It's
It was
first
just
of all,
one
it's one
coach.
coach. To your point, it's what. So yes, Mike Daigneault is the one coach that did it. That's number one. So you're right on that. We're not gonna take that away. The stipulation with that is that the team that he took over has at least 5 number 1 picks. A bunch of like they were already built. That team's been together. That team right there at least 3 years. With all the players they got, the rookies, all the players, they've been together at least 3 years, and they're high top talent. So you're just telling the car, you're just holding the steering wheel while the car's moving.
That's
You're
not fair. That is not fair.
I'm giving him props. I'm giving him props, but he's going up against a winner, which is Rick Carlisle, who's won against Dallas, who's won 80 plus playoff wins. So he's more than likely going to lose against.
Fair, bro. That is not fair. And I told you it's been like the past 4 or 5 seasons. You can look it up. I swear to God, I was looking at the chart. It's brand new coaches that take them to the finals. And what I'm gonna say to your point is, okay, they have 5 picks, blah blah, whatever. But he's going up against legends in the West. We're talking about the LeBrons of the world, the Lucas of the world, the Jokic of the world. These are not pushovers. These are legends. They're going to go down as Hall of Famers. And he's doing what he's doing. And again, this is just this last guy. But if you go back the 4 or 5 seasons, it's been a brand new head coach to take them to the finals. Again, this is the way the league is trending. It's a copycat league. We need to get with the times. Why? Listen, I'm with you guys 100%. If you're going to hire somebody like a Mike Malone, then you should have never fired Thibbs. I'm with you 100%. But so if Leon hires somebody like a Mike Malone, I am going to be extremely pissed. Because why? Why pivot from somebody that just took you to the Eastern Conference Finals? Because it was hard to work with him? Like, the results speak for themselves. I'm not taking nothing from Thibbs. I'm just saying, if you're going to move on with somebody new. That's all I'm saying.
All right, your point. Let me get a justify. Salute to the chat. The chat is going to appreciate you guys. Salute to Bodega Wi-Fi. We got our Bodega Wi-Fi in the building. Full brim salute to you. First time in the building. Appreciate you.
Love
Bodega
the name,
Wi-Fi is in the building. Bodega Wi-Fi. Love it. Listen, we need you need to get your Bodega Wi-Fi in here because sometimes we be losing it in here. Salute to Robert Woodard in the building. Robert Woodard. Wait, look, my wife made me one drink. You saw that. I took 2 sips and I'm already slizzy. Hey, salute to everybody. Robert Wood, let me get some of the comments in the chat, then we'll get to some more. Appreciate you. Robert Wood says, salute, welcome. Please hit the like button. That was buzzer beater. Bodega Wi-Fi says, Johnny Bryan is another Fizdale. Robert Wood
you can't say that. You can't say that.
That's his opinion. That's his opinion.
He's unproven. How you going to say that? That's you chopping the man's legs before he even starts running.
Okay, but that's what he's saying. That's just his opinion. I'm reading it. And he says, yeah, 3 shots, but you got to remember, it's been 25 years, champ. It's been decades, 3 presidents. Tibbs took us from the basement to the ECF. That's facts.
I'm not taking nothing from him.
We're not. They're just giving their opinion. They hear what you're saying, and they're just giving their opinion. They're not saying you're wrong. They're not fighting you. They can have a difference of opinion.
I'm not fighting them either. I'm just trying to. They say a point. I'm trying to say a point back. I'm saying, great, he got us here, but he couldn't get us past it.
Bodega Wi-Fi says Worldwide West is the reason that Tibbs is gone. Tibbs continuously made him look like a fool.
And yeah, that's another thing. Like, you don't. All right, we get you rookies. You don't play rookies. Okay, we get you vets. You don't play vets. And Entonces, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
But Buzzer Beater says, damn, Machete started talking over Ruel when Ruel was saying not to talk over each other. Help me, bruh. Help me. You see what I'm going through? And look, my point on that, and we'll go to the other coaches because we'll be here all day beating it back and forth. Pause. Beating this topic, I should say. Let me. Hey yo. Anyway, so I don't think Tibbs lost the locker room. It was his first year. I do understand Mikal Bridges was the first one to bring it up. He wasn't like him playing the heavy minutes. I don't think they like his coaching style. Josh was getting crazy burn, and Josh understood Tibbs' madness. That's why they grew close with him because Tibbs isn't gonna tell you the plan. He's gonna make the best out of you. Even with Julius Randle, he played Julius Randle, but he's gonna make the best out of you if you're a player who wants to get there. Uh, so Julius Randle, he molded him and pushed him and challenged him, and Julius Randle accepted the challenge, became All-Star, All-NBA player. He did that to Josh Hart. Josh Hart became one of the best players we have in the Knicks to become triple-double, elevated his game to make him a starter-level player, winning the most triple-doubles of any Knick player in the history. He did the same thing for Jalen Brunson, two-time All-Star, All-NBA player, most 40-point games in the season. So he has a way of challenging and molding players, and if the player's up for the challenge. Now, players are going to rebuttal. You're going to have Mikal Bridges or have some rebuttal. I think he was trying to help him to get to a place to earn those 7 picks and get there. I think he just pushed back a little too much. This is my opinion. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I think that's what he pushed. I think he was trying to get players there and young players to learn the game as far as a professional and want a challenge to be ready so that way they can earn their stripes. And there's been a couple of times when he played players that they weren't ready. However, I do think the game that we had, our best game, and all that to say, the front office has been on Tibbs' ass since last year. Worldwide West has been clamoring since last year against Tibbs. The front office, you can see that Leon Rose said, hey, if you're going to get rid of him, you get rid of me altogether. The front office has been a unit together. They're trying to make a lot of decisions together as a team, even though even though Leon is the president, he's trying to make sure that they all have one voice together. So they didn't want to be so much of a dictator. Whatever Leon says goes. They gave him basically a deadline to see how Tibbs does, and I think they knew before playoffs was going to go, how the playoffs are going to go, if they're going to keep him or not. So I think they already had that in place. And then as the playoffs progress, they already confirmed that decision. I don't think Leon makes any moves without having a second one in place. So I understand the frustration what people are seeing. All that to say is when Thibodeau won in New York, when we won that game, I think Nyknicks was saying it as well. And so was you and I think all of you guys were saying it. How Tibbs could have been doing this thing from before. How we got the players who win because we held Indiana to 90 points. We won by playing almost 11 players. DeLon Wright played great. So it was a version of Thibodeau that it probably should have been playing, maybe a little bit too late at that point in time, that we won in dominant fashion, and he should have kept playing that way. And then when he didn't, they just nipped it in the bud. So I think they were already at that level of this is his last hurrah, Leon. We're going to give you this last hurrah, but if this doesn't work, then you got to go with what the majority is saying. And it looks like the majority was saying to Thibodeau. So he gave him a chance. He got him paid. He got him 30 mil. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind that job. Give me
That's
30
a nice
million, fire me.
package right there, huh?
And listen, I ain't mad at that. So at that point, I understand, and I think he gave him a chance. Leon Rose is someone who rides and dies for his people. He told Dolan that, yo, if you get rid of him, you fire me. So I think they gave him that this year. That was last year. I think they said, yo, give me a year with the dude. Let's see what we could. Let me get some players that fit his style, and then we can win. And then they made the big moves. Gerson Rosas was added last year. Gerson Rosas used to play for Minnesota. He was I think, the president in Minnesota. That's how we got Cat, because of Gerson Rosas, right? So each member in the front office had their opinion on what they thought throughout the year. I'm pretty sure since last year to this year of what they thought it should look like or who should be to replace Thibodeau. So I think they've had these discussions for quite some time, even since last year. So the firing, I don't think was a surprise to anyone in the front office. To us, yes. And I don't think what Leon Rose is doing is a surprise either. I think it's a way of pissing around the league. I think they already know who they're going to hire. You know what I'm saying? Like leaving your scent. You know what I'm saying? Like by asking these coach, listen, you can say it, but we're at a point that, yo, this is the job to have. If you want a job, you're in the Mecca. You got Dolan who's going to give you unlimited money. You got all these great players. We got a system. We got a foundation to kind of draw coaches to come out in a sense. If you're in another place, they got to ask to want to come here. So I think them asking is to appease some of the front office players. You know what I'm saying? Like Wes was like, yo, I would rather have Udoka. And then Gerson Roson's like, yo, go ask Finch. And this guy's saying, I'd rather have kids. So to appease everybody, I think he went out there and be like, yo, alas, of course they're gonna get declined. Nobody's gonna let go of your best player, and it's up to the coach to be like, you know what? I really like that job, and I think I want to do it. So it's up to the coach to say, hold on, before let me finish, because I'll forget it, and hold your question, and for them to kind of poach them out in a sense, for them to come out and see if they want to appease the front office. But I think worldwide, I think Leon Rose already has the person that he already knows is going to take the position, and we'll discuss later. But I think that's what you're seeing with the poaching. As New Knicks was saying that he doesn't think that he has a plan. Leon Rose, in my opinion, has never done anything drop that hand and without a plan. You know what I'm saying? I think they did it strategically. And in order to say you did a good job, because not only the fans are going to criticize, the media, they didn't even interview this guy. They're just going canvassing the thing and seeing what's their best opportunity, even though they think, look, I think this is the guy, but to appease everybody, let's just have everybody who we think we can get, see if they want the job. We'll all talk about it, but at the end of the day, I think it's this guy. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think it's doing, to appease everybody else, to be like, yo, we're just gonna do that. You like Jason Kidd? We'll ask Jason Kidd. You like Finch because you came from Minnesota. You think Finch, who got them to the finals, as you were saying, and you were a coach? And I think that's what's happened. Go ahead, 2 shots.
But isn't that too many cooks in the kitchen then? If you have to go through all these loops?
It can be. So Leon Rose is ultimately going to have the last word. But you still got to have a unity. So in order to not have dysfunction, like even with us, as much as I could try to thug it and dominate it, we all have each other's opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can do whatever I want, but is that going to make you guys happy, even though it may be successful? Nah, we're family. You know what I'm saying?
All right, but
like, I still think I still know what the answer is going to be, but I'm going to include you guys in it.
But are you including me? Are you including me? If you already have your guy and you're going through the circus just
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to hear you out. You tell me why you hate Thibbs, and you know what I mean? I'm still thinking like, yo, this is why, and I'm going to give you the reason why, but I'm going to hear all you guys out. And listen, you could be right, just like I tell you. There's times that I say something that could be wrong. Maybe, you know what, you bring out a great point. M Special's bringing out a great point. Maybe I didn't see that. But I see what you're saying. Let me go. And that's why, even for him, let me interview everybody, because I could be wrong. Let me see if J Kidd wins me over. Let me see if Finch, if he comes through, wins me over, and I can see why you say that. Let's see if they're willing to come out. And then we'll give it a listen. That's why they're, turning over every rock. Looking everything. It doesn't mean that they're not doing a good job, or they just did it at the whim, at the drop of a dime. But it shows what a good organization does. That, what if you hired this dude, and then this guy was like, I was willing to take that fucking job. What if Udoka was like, damn, if they would have asked me, I would have taken it. You know what I mean? So that now they're just throwing it out there, see who's willing, and then you can weigh it out. All right, now Udoka said he's willing. Jason Kidd said, nah, he wants to say, you know what I mean? And I was like, all right, now this is the guy
you basically casting your net to see what you got.
Cast your net, and then out of the fish we catch, which is a bigger one that we're gonna eat. I like tuna, but we ended up getting this salmon in here. That's a lot bigger.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's what I think they're doing. I'm not a pro. I'm not in the NBA, but I think that's what they're doing. And what media is always trying to portray something else. What fans don't see, like my brother was losing his mind, saying Leon Rose doesn't know what he's doing. It looks like that to people who aren't aware of the plan. And if we know the New York Knicks, they don't reveal anything to anybody until it's all done. And then we're like, oh, that's what you know what I mean? Like, that's what I think is happening, that they're not disclosing, and media's just throwing the spaghetti at the wall and seeing what's sticking. You know
Can
what
I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Because I don't really know how. I'm a baseball guy. I don't really know how the front offices kind of things work in basketball too much.
And on that, if you guys want to see baseball conversation from the Organic Fanatics, let us know. Dale, go ahead.
So who we gonna cover? Because I'm not gonna talk about no fucking Yankees.
Well, Mets and Yankees, we got both y'all niggas.
At a standstill here. So how does it work, right? They threw the net out. They went to Dallas. They asked to speak to Kidd. They said no, right? Because they didn't. Mm-hmm. He's not available. So let's say they say, okay, yeah, you could talk to him. And then Jason Kidd is like, yeah, you know what? I'm down. What happens? Do we have to trade for him?
No, that's why you throw it out. So typically, right, you got your job. I was telling my wife the same thing. You got your business, right? You and Two Shots got your business. You got your manager that's running your shop. The dude's made your shop the best that it can be. He's got all the employees trained or whatever. Are you gonna want to let him go? No, right? So I'm gonna ask, yo, I like this manager. He does a great job. I want to hear from my business. You be like, yo, get the fuck out of here. This is my guy. I want him. Now the manager could be like, I kind of like, they do that on purpose. They expect to know. You know what I'm saying? If you got your business running smooth, why would you let them go, right? But they're gonna bring the opportunity up to the manager who didn't know that was an opportunity. Now the manager's gonna be like, yo, that's, you know what I'm saying? I got it. We got Papito's coffee, but that's Starbucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm at Papito's coffee. We doing good. But Starbucks is telling me, you know what I mean? That I didn't know that was I didn't know Starbucks was looking at me like that. You know what I'm saying? And it gives them an opportunity. Now it's gonna be up to the that's the best way I can describe it, Mike.
Hey, Papito Coffee is fire, bro.
Yeah.
Listen,
I'll take that over Starbucks any day, bro. What are you talking about?
Hey, I agree with you, but again, some people stay. They like Papito's coffee. You know what I'm saying? They go with Papito, they stay with it. But I'm just saying it's up to the it's up to the coach. Now if Jason Kidd's like, you know what? I don't like the way you guys got rid of Luka. You got me Anthony Davis. I like that, but he's usually injured. Now you're gonna bring me with the rookie. I was just in the Western Conference Final. For him, he may see it like this isn't as great as I thought it could be. New York is ready right now. New York has a similar batch of what I'm dealing with. They got a Cat. They got a Jalen Brunson right now. Where if I'm staying at Dallas, I got KD who's injured prone. Kyrie who's gonna miss at least a year. Who knows how he's gonna come back? He's over 35. You know what I'm saying? I can do what I was doing here, but now I got a younger crew that's ready to go in the front office that's gonna listen to me. And it's in New York. You know what I'm saying? So that's the ideal of the poaching. Now it's up to Jason Kidd to be like, yo, I want to go. And James Dolan has how many businesses? How many picks do we got with this second rounders? Be like, yo, you know what? I'll give you $7 million, 2 first, 2 second round, whatever. They can. That's stuff that they can work in the background. That's just business stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's not that big of a deal in that aspect. They can figure that out. So yes, they can pay and trade and do other things, but they did that to see if, like, ideally the two best coaches out there is Udoka and Kidd, in my opinion, that fit as to what New Knicks was talking about. What we have, you got players that they're great defensive coaches, at least Udoka for sure. He's a great defensive coach. He has a way of getting things. And on top of that, what was a big knock on Thibodeau? Players didn't want to play for him, right? As allegedly for certain star players. Now you got Kidd, who's had all types of players with him. AD, Kyrie, he's had all types of people that played with him. Same thing with Udoka. He had, Tatum, he had Brown. He got them to a place that they were ready to win before they got rid of him for the whatever the debauchery was. You know what I'm saying? So these are your top tier that you're looking at, and they've already seen the ones that are available. Now there are coaches that are available, the Mike Malones, Budhauser, Holzer, whatever it is. They've won. They've won a championship. So if you want to go as to what M. Splash was saying, you don't want to just get a rookie. You want to get someone who's been to the promised land to tell you, yo, you got to make a left here. Everybody's making a right. You want to make a left here. You got two coaches that have been there. Now, whether two shots you agree that that's right or not, you have two coaches that are available right now that have been there, that players like playing for, that you don't have to do anything for. And in my opinion, that's what Leon, I think, has seen, and like these are available right now, and then in comparison to let me just appease everybody else and throw a bigger net. If you get me on that.
I mean, I hear you with all of that, and
Yo, shout out to Bodega Wi-Fi. I appreciate the explanation on World Wide West. I didn't know what the fuck that was, bro.
Yeah, so
like that's the first time he explained to it what it was. He explained what it was.
Yeah, salute to Bodega Wi-Fi. I'm gonna read what he says.
Explain what was.
So
Worldwide West.
He said Bodega. He says World Wide West is a basketball. What?
What?
Let me read it. World Wide West is a basketball power broker, an executive vice president and senior basketball advisor for the New York Knicks. So a power broker.
But is it a person or a company? It's a person.
No,
right?
it's a person. That's a person. That's the person. He has the connections with all types of stars. He knew LeBron and all these. So he has connections with other players, other entities, other companies in general. So that's why they know. That's why Dolan brought him over. So Leon Rose is the top agent. They have him and World Wide West are like this. They know all the top players. That's why it's important for him to know. That's why you even see the budgeting, what players make, what coaches make. That's why you see the contract so good with Brock Allard. They know the real value of players and what it takes to get these players over. So that's why it was important for them to get a job on there. Go ahead, Machete.
Worldwide West is like a super scout. He personally knows players, like guys. He gets to know their families. He knew them when they were in high school coming up. He knew a lot of guys, a lot of famous guys that ended up becoming superstars, all-stars, superstars that know Worldwide West. That's why they call him Worldwide West, because he has a lot of connection. He's a power broker. He's a brother that gets to know the players like intimately, not like that. Pause, but like personally, like he knows their parents, he knows their upbringing, he knows he knows them for a long time. He has connections with them for like a long time. That so much so that he's a Madison Square Garden executive. This guy's no joke. He knows that. Guys listen to him. Guys listen to Worldwide West. From Durant. That's why they went after Durant twice. Because he knows these guys. He knows how to talk to these guys. So he's important. So he gets inside the players' heads. That's why he knows the players well, better than Thibbs personally could get.
And
that's what Worldwide West does. So it's like, I'm sorry, it's like Wells said, he connected to one of the most powerful NBA brokers, agents, Leon Rose, one of the biggest agent companies, CAA. You connect to both of them in MSG. So, they could do a lot. They could have done a lot. But Leon didn't listen to Worldwide West last year. He gave Thibbs a chance because he believed in him like the rest of us do. But they sat back and watched the whole regular season. I heard at one podcast that they were saying that the whole time Dolan was out was because of the sphere going on in Los Angeles was going on. But now that was erected and it was done, he's back. So he's been to all the games.
Yeah, he's been at the games.
It does kind of a little bit make sense. Now, he probably was hands off. He gave that the MSG project to Leon because he was on the Spheres project. But now that's over, he's back. He was on the show. He was on the Brothers show. He was on a podcast with these guys. All of a sudden, he comes popping up out of nowhere. So
but that doesn't mean that he's hands on. He said it. He said it on their podcast that he's not going to be hands on.
But it's very suspicious all of a sudden, But I'm just saying that he could have came back, watched what's going on. He was at all the games, and at the end, they had to sit down. Like when report card, when what was it? The exit interviews happened at the end of the season. He was also there. Was he there last year? The year before? Yeah. Was he the year before at the exit?
I'm sure he was.
Come on, man.
I'm sure he was.
Man.
But
they watched, they waited, and they decided, look, man, we're going to move on. Now, whether they were ready or not, we don't know. I don't think that they would be dumb enough to make a move between the budget guy, Worldwide West, and Leon. They would be dumb enough to let go of Thibbs without having a backup plan because these guys play chess. That would not be playing chess. That would not be playing chess when you move like that. All right. So something is in the moves. We don't know what it is. Everybody's speculating. Is that time of fucking season? Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 bullshit.
I can't quote that. I can't quote that.
We're not going to talk about it. Like, what you mean, blah, blah, blah?
Perfect. See, that's why I said he's always trying to move forward. Now, New Knicks, you happen to come in the perfect time. We finally moved on from talking about why Thibbs got fired. Right? And now we're talking about the possible replacements on here. So you knowing that we got Thibbs, what Thibbs did great, what he didn't do good. Now you get rid of Thibbs. Oh my God, man, Machete. Goodness sake, bro. So you got what do you look for in this candidate? So now it's important. So he cast a net. He's trying to go for all these coaches just to look. What do you guys think? Your opinion? What are we looking for? What can that coach do different to try to? Bro, my wife, Heavenly Father, protect me, give me guidance, give me the choice. Anyway, so New Knicks, I'm gonna go for you. Said you came. So what out of the coaches you looking for? You said you think that Leon looks like lost. He looks crazy that he's not picking anybody. I said that I think he's casting a broad net out there to just try to see who he can poach out to favor the front office, because all the front office they were wanting to get rid of Tibbs. Gerson Rosas from Minnesota. He wanted it. I think he liked Finch. That's why they asked Minnesota for Finch, because he was working in Minnesota. He wanted him. I think Worldwide West wanted Ime Udoka, so they asked just to appease Worldwide West at that point in time. Jesus. If you guys
I agree with Machete.
go ahead, because I need another drink after the quacks. Go ahead. Say go. Now you can elaborate on whatever you want to say, New Knicks.
All right, yeah, my apologies for the abrupt signing off. I had to pull up to Home Depot. But yeah, we look lost. Nobody's out there. They're banking on begging Dallas to get Jason Kidd. I don't know who Flint is. I don't know all of the candidates that they're looking for and wishing for. There's only one person that I think, or two people that I think that could take the job and have the respect of the city, the players, and everything else above, which is Jason Kidd, which is a previous point guard. I'm pretty sure I know he's a Hall of Famer. I don't know about All-Star. I'm pretty sure. So he has the IQ and the mentality to find mistakes that are made on a split-second decision based on how he used to play and how he used to orchestrate his own. You know what I mean? And
Yo, where are all these noises coming from?
That's Machete.
Machete.
They're coming from the sound, the human beatbox, Machete.
You can like make sounds on Discord.
Oh my God, we got Rozelle in the background. Anyway.
So basically, I mean, the only person that I see fit is Jason Kidd or Mark Jackson.
He said the name. He said the name.
That would never happen.
Coño, machetazo, coño.
Yeah, you're gonna drive like crazy.
Yo, put a one in chat if you guys can hear those sounds.
If you guys can hear his soundboard, put a 1 in the chat. If you can't, put a 2.
I'm pretty sure they can hear it. But yeah, those are the only two candidates after Thibodeau. It's like breaking up with
they can hear it.
It's like breaking up with your bitch, right? Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. What was the question?
Yeah, no, it's like breaking up with your bitch. You can't downgrade. You gotta get better bitch. So
I mean, he ain't lying.
Hey, listen, if you know my brother, he's gonna break it down to the hood street level. He's gonna break it down to the street level.
So I mean, IQ wise, I think Mark Jackson and Jason Kidd are the only two. Johnny Bryant, I don't think he can handle the spotlight. The guy that got fired, that everybody's clamoring about from who was it? The old white guy that you guys was talking about?
Mike Malone.
Yeah, Mike Malone. I don't want bro. These don't look like New York guys, bro, and they don't look like they can
Mike Malone's from New York. Mike Malone's from New York.
Yeah, he was in Knicks. I think he played. He might play for the Knicks.
Just because you're from there don't mean you built like that, bro. Not a lot of people are built like that.
He's literally built like that. He's literally built like that. He's literally built like that.
I gotta admit, I like Mike. I like Mike Malone. Jason Kidd.
ops. I don't know no ops' name. I don't know
Let-
no ops' coach's
Listen,
name.
listen. That's why my brother. If you're looking at my brother stressed and freaked out, my brother doesn't watch the ops. He doesn't watch the coaches. He's at a loss right now. My brother, he's frazzled. He doesn't know who to. He's like, I don't know these coaches. I only know Thibbs. I only fuck with Thibbs. I don't know who else is out there. I'm nervous. This is a hood nervous look.
Bro, I'm just at the point. I'm trying to go back to Fizdale. I'm not trying to.
Ain't nobody trying to do that, bro.
Really not
Yo,
trying to.
why do you guys insist on bringing that? Why do you guys insist on bringing that fucking guy's name up?
Hold on. Let me read the chat. Let me read the chat real quick. Hold on, you Knicks. Hold on. Let me read the chat. Let me read the chat, and then we'll go down the list of these said coaches on here. Bodega Wi-Fi says, Worldwide West never forgave Tibbs for humiliating him by benching Kemba Walker. So I think Worldwide West made the move of getting Kemba over and try to make those moves, and he wasn't playing them. Keith Watkins was making that business call. Get your money, player. Let me see. West wanted Tibbs. Keith Watkins says West wanted Tibbs gone a long time ago. And then Keith Watkins also said, in my opinion, Tibbs was fired because of his lack of willingness to play his bench and because Cat and McCall and probably a few others, i.e. Precious and maybe Landry Shamet, complained about playing time one way or another. Keith Watkins also says, I was concerned about the home getting tossed as soon as he changed the starting lineup, and we won. In my opinion, we would have been better chance if we lost by 20 than the lineup change winning reinforced. Which is what I was saying. When we won the game in New York, that we won in good fashion, that we won by 94. Right? We went about 10 deep. I think that was the ceiling deal. Be like, yo, you could have been doing this.
The whole goddamn
And I think
series.
that I think that is what sealed it. Like, damn, you waited this long. We beat them by 94. We held them under 100. You could have used the players. I mean, we held them to 94.
Did you guys?
See the way?
Did you guys watch
I forgot to carry the one.
The what?
Did you guys watch the podcast? Their podcast, they said that they gave up after game one, lost to the Pacers. They were like, that was it.
Who said that?
They didn't say they gave up. I watched the show. They didn't say they gave up.
Who said that?
They basically said they were done after game one.
See, there you go. You are the epitome of what Knicks fans do. They said that. Basically, they said that. Basically.
After that loss, they were done. They thought they said that before, after the Celtics series, they knew they could beat anybody because these are beatable teams. They were angry that they lost the series to the Pacers because they said that was a beatable team, that all the teams were beatable. They knew that in their heart, in their minds, in their souls, that they could beat any team, but that their bodies were tired. And that it was proven when they couldn't keep up with the Pacers after game one. That's what they said.
Hey, I can believe that tired part.
I send it to you in the chat so that you can watch it. I send it to you in the chat so you can watch it. Obviously, you didn't do your homework.
Oh, wow. That's what you're supposed to host. You're supposed to host today. Why did you host it?
Shots fired.
He don't wet me up. He took your gun. 2 shots. He took your gun.
Hold on. I'm being gaslit the fuck right now.
Let's take a 5-minute break. Let's take a 10-minute break.
No, espérate. All fucking year. Minutes police this, minutes police that, blah, 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 blah. And now all of a sudden they tired? Hold on. If you're not gaslighting me, then I don't know what the fuck you doing right now.
They threw like 10 matches, son.
None of that shit.
All right, let's get it going now.
They knew he was out. Like I said earlier, when they paid him the millions.
Hold on, you Knicks. Hold that thought real quick. Let me just address the chat. The chat's replying to Machete's comment. He said, Bodega Wi-Fi, thank you, sir. I appreciate you bringing it because I was upset, but Bodega Wi-Fi said he was done after watching the first game of the finals. Not the semifinals. He was talking about watching. Anyway, but please don't drive and stream. Buzzer beater, my brother's in an Uber. He's not driving. He pretends he's driving. while he's getting Ubered.
Actually, I'm not
AI,
driving.
AI.
I'm not
He's got that.
driving.
He's
I'm
got that
sitting
little baby
focused
wheel.
on
You
my
know what I'm saying? It looks like
vehicle.
he's driving.
I'm not. I'm parked. I'm parked. You don't see me moving. You don't see me driving.
New
You see me
Knicks, New
parked.
Knicks, New Knicks.
So I can stay in focus and make my point. And no,
New-
they said
Hold on.
no.
You
Jalen
next, you
Brunson
next, you
said
next.
he stopped. Jalen Brunson said he stopped watching because he's a hater. He said that he's not gonna feel any kind of way about it if you don't watch. So if you don't watch, you don't feel any kind of way about it. Later on in the show, they talked about the series and how they were after beating a Boston because they already knew in their minds and because it was when they were talking about how their knees felt. Right, and how they were tired and and then they talked about how they but physically and mentally they felt that they could beat these teams, these repeatable teams when they were talking about specifically the Pacers, but they were disappointed that they didn't have a plan because
You next, you
for
next.
whatever reason Thibbs played a small whatever lineup on the first game. They lost that first game. After losing that first game is when it hit them that and mentally they were done. So they were done already. They said already after the first game.
You next. Go ahead. You next.
Sometimes I gotta interrupt in the moment because I forget what the fuck I be wanting to say. But it all sounds like bullshit. It smells like bullshit, and I'm just tired of the bullshit. That's
All right,
it.
so I'm gonna start bringing up some of the coaches that are possibly out there that I think in general. You guys tell me your thoughts on that coach and what you feel if that's something that you think would happen. I'll tell you kind of a stat or what I think, and then you guys kind of jump down there. All right, so I'm gonna go with the obvious. We're gonna say it out.
I don't like it.
All right, I was gonna say Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson's the first coach. Mark Jackson.
Yes.
I'm a fan.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes.
I'm a fan.
What happened? I mean, I have him on the clip here. Mark Jackson, who took the Golden State Warriors, the young Clay, young Stephen Curry, the young Draymond Green, got them to a prominence. Which, by the way, two shots was probably too young before that, but right before that, they had the Monte Ellis Golden State, which I like the Monte Ellis Golden State.
Yeah, no, I'm not that young.
Okay, so I was with that. But he took him to prominence. The real reason why he is pretty much blackballed because he's pretty much against the Alphabet Coalition for the most part. So I think that's why he's been blackballed, but he's a great coach. Your thoughts on the opportunity of Mark Jackson? Is he a legitimate candidate, and would you like him as a head coach?
If you're asking me, I don't think he's a legit candidate, but I am a big fan of Mark Jackson. Shout out to St. John's. He's a St. John's product, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm a huge fan. I love this game when he played. I love what he stands for. And if you want another fucking rigid motherfucker that probably won't listen to the front office or whatever, put Mark Jackson in there.
Hey, New Knicks. Buzzer beater says DNIC what? And then laughing emoji. What's DNIC?
Dominican niggas in charge.
There you go. That's what the NIC means on there. And then Keith Watkins says.
You see that right there?
And the Keith Watkins says the reason you always interrupt people or whatever, he says short-term memory loss lapses.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Because
yes,
of the
senor.
smoke.
Yes,
He needs to get it out.
Yeah, he has to get it out. So if you guys know, if you're watching the show, if you see my brother always cutting in, it's not because he's rude, slightly. It's because he's going to forget his thought. And he has to get it out that second because he's definitely going to forget it. But a little bit. It's sometimes rude. But that's my brother. We love him. We understand him.
It's like 50-50.
It's 50-50.
When I hear bullshit, I just want to check it at that split second. That's it.
Listen, we're going to leave it up to you, the chat, or everybody who's watching Replay Gang. Is my brother just being rude, or is the weed affecting a little bit? So you guys determine that.
Put a comment on there.
Put your comment on that. What you think it is? What you think is the reason? My brother interrupts. Hey, salute to
Nostalgic
nostalgic Knicks
in the building.
I'll tell you myself, it's definitely to check the bullshit. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So I mean,
that sounds like bullshit.
yeah.
Keep walking, said
don't mean
50-50.
to be rude because it just sounds.
For sure.
The scales of justice.
It's 65 or 75 more bullshit
Hey,
than
New Knicks. Keith Walker says 50-50. He's it's a thin line. It's a thin line. Hey, salute to the panel, nostalgic Knicks. We appreciate you. All right, so Mark Jackson, M Spesh, your thoughts on the on Mark Jackson? Do you like him? Do you think that he would do great? And the likelihood that it could be a possibility?
Hell yeah, man. And I'm gonna say it right here, bro. They fired him too early, bro. They stole the championship away from him. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear Steve Kerr brought in his little offense and fuck out of here. He had that team humming, bro. And they would have won the championship regardless.
He did.
Facts.
That's right.
Okay, I love that. I appreciate that. New Knicks, your quick thoughts, and I mean quick, sir. Not high time thoughts. Mark Jackson.
They're gonna be 2% quick because that's all I got to work with. Jackson, the best. I think the best option to relieve Tom Thibodeau, and if it's not him, I don't see nothing else working for media wise. I don't see nothing else working player wise. Like, for number one, they gotta be able to gain the respect of the coach. I mean, of the players immediately. So
Okay.
that's what Mark Jackson and you got a dollar on you?
Two shots. Your thoughts on Mark Jackson, real quick. I know you said it, but I may have missed it.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I like him. I wholeheartedly 100% back up that candidate, but I just honestly don't think he's gonna get the opportunity.
Not enough in the bank.
Yeah, hey, we put a mute. Put New Knicks. Mute yourself, New Knicks. Mute yourself, New Knicks.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever gonna get a chance to coach again.
I will say, I mean, listen, Mark Jackson, I love Mark Jackson. I think he would be great. I don't think that the New York market is for him. I think with everything they got going, as much as I love him, I just don't think the media is too much that they would be on him. I think he would need.
Real quick before I die, I think Dolan.
The battery, bro. Your battery dies, not you.
Right?
All right. Hey, listen. I think Mark Jackson. Dolan will be the one to stick it to the NBA and go get Mark Jackson. I don't think Dolan plays with any of the options or rules and litigations of the NBA. So,
I can see that.
Dolan, I definitely want you to go get Mark Jackson. I'll call you later.
But it's not on Dolan. It's on Leon, isn't it?
Correct.
No.
No, I do agree with my brother on that. Like, if there's anybody that would give Mark Jackson a job, would be the James Dolan. James Dolan is not about bowing down to the NBA. He does what he wants. Salute to James Dolan for that and having the power and the autonomy to do whatever the hell you want, even to put a big ass TV in shape of a basketball in LA. Salute to you. If you pull that off.
In Vegas?
In Vegas, whatever. LA. What I say? LA? I said
Yeah,
Vegas.
You said LA. It's in Vegas.
I meant Las Vegas. It's the other side of it. The desert side of Las Vegas.
Put it down, bro. Put it down.
Hey, salute to my wife for always making the dopest drinks. All I need is one. My wife has been fired for 7 bartender jobs because they get drunk too fast.
It's like 10 o'clock. Everybody passed out.
The DJ doesn't even get us do his good set before everybody's wasted.
Can't hear you, New Knicks.
We can't hear you. You're breaking up.
I said I got 1%.
All right, yeah, we understand if you got to go. It's all good, my G. So Mark Jackson, I would love Mark Jackson. I think he's super dope. I think he would be phenomenal at the job. I just don't think the reality of him getting that job would happen in New York. Now, I would like to see him anywhere else, like a Charlotte, a team like that where it's not as much media, not as much present, where he can do good. I think something like that would work for him. As much as I would love him, I don't think it would happen. Now, I do agree with my brother that James Dolan would be the one to get him. But in this situation, if it was prior to win it all, like right now, we're in a win now mode. We have a 2-3 year window, which is why I think they fired Thibodeau early, because the window is so small and that it's all in right now. So I think that's why they fired Tibbs right now. Is whatever side of the coin you're on with Tibbs, I think the time is urgent, the time is pressing. That's why the importance of what this next coach is or what they bring. That's why I think me and M Spesh are on the same side as far as a winning coach, one who's been there before. That's why I think for me, that is, I can definitely understand your sentiment. 2 shots for that. We'll skip to Mark Jackson. So Mark Jackson, I think we can all agree, as much as we want him, it's probably a no. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't think they'll hire.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody's
think we
gonna
can.
hire Mike Jackson.
I hopefully I keep it open for him to hopefully get to somewhere.
What is
Even
the chat saying? What is the chat saying?
chat, everybody in the chat, everybody replay gang, yes or no on Mark Jackson? Thumbs up, thumbs down, emotion, and just put the name Mark Jackson and thumbs up or thumbs down. What you think on that? Do you think Mark Jackson is an actual viable candidate? Do you think Mark Jackson would be someone that we can actually go for? So I'm gonna put the ones that I think are more on the outside.
NBA, go grab Mark.
Okay, now I'm putting the ones that I don't think that are realistically, but I think Knicks Nation would love them. Mark Jackson's the first one. Here's the second one. Mike Woodson. Mike Woodson, who coached the New York Knicks with Carmelo Anthony, Tyson Chandler. This is a left field, which salute to Ian Begley. I'm not going to say like I told Ian Begley brought it up. I do like where he was thinking with that. Mike Woodson, who's someone who's a college coach now. He's been a coach for New York Knicks. He did well with good premier elite talent. That was the last time we went to the playoffs. Do you guys think Mike Woodson would be a good candidate for the New York Knicks to get a job? Knicks, because New Knicks, because your battery's low. Mike Woodson, and then we'll go to 2 shots and M Special.
Oh no, he goes.
What?
And good for, I love Woody. Pause.
Yo, hey, my guy. Wait a minute.
Listen, I didn't give him the name, but yeah, he's definitely a great offensive mind. He definitely has the respect of the players. He has love. When he was with Tom Thibodeau, he was the one guiding the youth, and I think he's definitely a better option than Jason Kidd. Hello?
No, I got you. My bad. I was on mute. M Special, your thoughts on Mike Woodson? We're not gonna call him Woody, but Mike Woodson.
No, I'll pass. Been there, done that.
Okay. Any reason in particular?
When he was, everybody talks about this offensive genius or whatever, but when he was here, what did we do? We had Melo, right? Everything was ISO. How did that pan out?
You stole my point, motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying? How did that pan out? We exited the second round against the Pacers.
Melo didn't have no help. Who was he gonna pass it to?
He played with Stat, bro. Stat was killing it too.
Smith, come on.
I mean, Iman Shumpert and J.R. Smith won championships on another team. You can't tell me they're not good. Iman Shumpert was a defensive specialist at point guard. Come on, man. He had some people.
He had people. Yeah, he had people.
Yeah, people.
Oh, oof! I like the points. I can't say nothing on these points. I'm listening.
Not even just that. When he coached in Atlanta, he had Joe Johnson, another ISO heavy player.
Oh my God, bro! You guys are talking like he had.
And listen, I'm a Mike Woodson fan. You feel me? I'm like 60-40 no, but the same reasons that he just mentioned is because why I'm leaning no. But I'm a Mike Woodson fan.
Yeah, but let's talk about Mike Woodson with Cat, Brunson, and all the weapons that we have.
No, if
Like,
you hate Jalen Brunson's game now, you're gonna hate it even more if Mike Woodson takes over, because he's gonna lean on that ISO shit even more. Nah, I'm good.
I seriously doubt it. Mike Woodson is a center coach, so he's
Nah,
gonna make sure Cat is utilized good.
bueno, yeah, whatever. Everybody has their own opinion. All right,
Okay, so my brother's yes for Woodson. 2 shots. That's a no for you. Am I right?
that's the no for me. I'm gonna go no.
M Special. That's a no for you.
That's a no.
All right, and I
Keith
can
Watkins
agree
says
on
no.
that consensus. Keith Watkins. That's all I wanted to see if it was that or if it was to Mark Jackson with a thumbs down. I wanted to put a name if you're watching. Put a name with the thumbs down so we know who your thumbs down in. If it's either Mark Jackson or Woodson. Mike Woodson. I like Woodson. I don't think he can lead us to a championship with this team, in my opinion. I like him, but I just don't think, as to the points that you guys made eloquently, I think that was very well. Now would he do good with the skill levels of the players that we have? I think he'd do well. But if you fire Thibodeau on that, you must win. Like we have to be in the finals, win or bust next year. I don't think you put all that stock in Mike Woodson, in my opinion. I can, we're really right now. We're in win now. If you fire Tibbs, it's win. Like next year, we got to be in the finals or winning, and that's just the mindset right now. The Knicks, you got Embiid gone for a while. I mean, you got Lillard gone for a year. I mean, the East is open next year, so next year. Tatum, like if there's any time to win, next year is the year. We must win next year. So if you're looking at the landscape of the East, we have to be in the Eastern Conference Finals next year. Our only opponent's going to be the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah,
The Pacers.
absolutely.
So Keith Watkins says we haven't even gotten there. Keith Watkins
way
giving
ahead.
thumbs down on people we ain't even got to yet.
He's way ahead.
Slow down, player. Slow down. I mean,
He's in the future.
Hey, he's got that he's got that bodega Wi-Fi. Jeez, slow down, my guy. We're not even there. He's got the advanced metrics. All right, I'm gonna go. We're going right to it. The nitty gritty. Who's the boy that you like? 2 shots.
Johnny Bryant.
Let's go to Johnny Bryant. Let's finally bring Johnny Bryant up. Johnny Bryant was under the helm of 3 years for Tom Thibodeau. He was in the helm of right now in Cleveland Cavaliers with Keith Atkins. Keith Atkins, they won the most wins in the Eastern Conference. He's obviously known for his accolades on there. Do you think, obviously 2 shots, I know your answer. You got Johnny Bryant, young coach who's been under the helms of Thibodeau, who's been under the helms of Keith Atkins. He's been under some other coaches, has done well. All the teams he's been in have led into playoffs. Do you think it's time, and do you think you can win with Johnny Bryant and the players that we have right now, and why? 2 shots to you. You first.
Oh, me first? Yeah.
That's your boy.
That's my boy, man. That's the kid I'm gonna go with. Main reasons. Again, everybody raves about him. Everybody that deals with him raves about him. He's a great communicator. First time head coach. There's no playbook on him, so everything he does is gonna be brand new, and everybody's gonna have to scramble to try to figure him out. Not only that, you give him the offensive weapon of Jalen Brunson, Cat. I'm gonna sprinkle McHale in there because his mid-range is elite. And OG with the 3. If you give him those 4 ingredients, I don't think there's a way that he can fail. He done been under Thibodeau, so he knows Thibodeau's offensive and defensive system. He done been in Cleveland, which was just they just won 60 whatever games. They were first in the East, so he has experience with them. I am putting all my chips in on Johnny Bryant solely for the fact that he's a brand new coach that has the ear of the players. and I feel like he can instill something new, and I feel like he can maybe bring out the best in everybody. Now, can I be wrong? Absolutely. He could take over the reins and flop like a fish out of water. But I'm gonna take my chance. If we have a 2 to 3 year window to win, I'm gonna give him 1 year. And if he doesn't go through with it, well, then maybe you could pivot to go to somebody else.
Now, do you think the front office, and I'll get to you, Special, in a second. Now, do you think the front office, now with the canvassing that they're doing, the reason that they're doing this canvassing, in my opinion, I think they're looking for, and as Raw Hebrew always says, a long-term sustainable winner. Do you think they want to take a gamble on a 1 year risk as a coach?
We're already there. We already, again, thank you, Thibodeau. Take your 30 mil and go rest somewhere. But he done already instilled a winning culture with us. We have the work ethic, we have the players, we have the staff, we have everything in place. The only thing that's missing is the head coach. Now, the reason I'm going to take a 1 year flyer on Bryant is, again, I don't know what his philosophy is. So I want to see it play out. And then if it plays out good, all in. If it doesn't, then you can hire somebody like, if somebody is willing, you can hire like Mike Malone, say, as his assistant coach. And then if he flops, like I said, if he flops like a fish out of water, hey, we gave you a shot, but let's go with somebody that's a little more proven, somebody that I believe plays a 10-man rotation and can, you know what I'm saying, adjust on the fly, if you will. I'm only basing it based off of things that I would look for coming from Thibodeau, because I only know what I had, which is Thibodeau, and he was stubborn. He was true to his way. Power to him, but it didn't work. So I'm gonna need somebody that's a little more malleable. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm saying if you can put him in the head coaching slot and hire an experienced assistant coach, and then if he flops, then just fire him and give the reins to the experienced coach.
All right, hey, salute to the chat. Keith Watkins says, so far, none of the choices are better than Thibbs. Bodega Wi-Fi says, when you were talking about Johnny Bryant, sounds like Fizdale. And again, it's your point.
It could be. I don't know. It could be. But I'm going to take my kids.
All right. M. Spesh, Johnny Bryant, new blood, has experience that he's under Cleveland right now, who had their best winning record all time, was under Thibbs for 3 years. What are your thoughts on Johnny Bryant? I'm Special.
Johnny Bryant, like you said, under Thibbs for 3 years. I don't want a Thibbs Jr. 2, he scored 6. They had 60 wins in Cleveland. What they do against the Pacers? They got mollywopped. No, thank you. We need somebody. We need somebody with experience, right? Like, I don't know too much about coaches. Like I said, I'm a baseball guy, right? But just what I see. You know what I'm saying? Like, does an assistant, let me ask you a question. Does an assistant coach, school me on something right quick. Does an assistant coach, right? Does an assistant coach have much say in what goes on in like the offense or the defense?
Now, to your point that you're saying right there, I was going to say that with my rebuttal, but to your point, since you brought it up, he gives feedback like he gave to the coach right now in Cleveland. But that coach is what you know he's gonna do with that advice. He's gonna tweak it and do it his own method. He'll take I like what you said, and then I'm gonna tweak it a little bit and own a different way. So yes, they have input on there, but the head coach is gonna tweak it in a way like you see Thibodeau used to do with Brunson's dad. Brunson's dad would say something. I thank you for that, but I'm gonna do a little bit different.
It's like a financial advisor. You know what I'm saying? I can give you the advice. Boom. I give you all the information. But at the end of the day, you have to come up with a decision.
Okay, so basically, what I'm hearing is nothing. They got.
No, they don't.
I do the same thing at work. I take your advice and then I do my own shit.
There you go. You're the supervisor. That's basically what it is. You're the same thing. You're the supervisor. Hey, look,
if they get him and he wins a championship, then I'll be the first one to eat my words, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. To be honest, I'm gonna be honest with you guys right now. I really don't know what the Knicks need, bro. like what kind of coach we need.
I
You
got you. No, listen,
You know what I
most
mean?
most
Like-
of us don't. That's why everybody's confused.
I still
Yeah,
think
we all in the same boat, man. We
Yeah,
all
but-
throwing what you say, throwing spaghetti at the wall.
But get at the wall, see what sticks.
There you go.
what sticks.
There you go.
Now, listen, Johnny Bryant would be a selection if the front office is making the decisions. You know what I'm saying? If the front office wants to be the one to be like, we want to make all these decisions and you are the mouthpiece of what we're saying, you get Johnny Bryant. You feel me? Like if they say, yo, you're going to be the mouthpiece of what we...
So you saying he's just a placeholder?
In a certain sense, like like if you get him, it's because the front office is basically like, yo, these are the players we want to get. This is how we want to run the system. We want you to execute it, but what we're saying, I want you to voice it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you would get a Johnny Bryant from.
So like a Fisher was with what's his name?
Yeah. With the what are you talking about? Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson.
Okay.
I got you. So yeah, so he's a mouthpiece for the trumpet, right? So the front office would say, and this point, if we're gonna be honest, right? We're trying to be honest. At this point, if I want to win the championship, like if you look at it, Leon Rose has done everything that Thibbs wanted. He got all the players he wanted, and then he didn't play these players, right? Like I think Landry Shamet, if you heard me all year, I was saying Landry Shamet, Precious should have been getting burn time. I think they were the right bench pieces. They were the right players. I thought Precious double in defense was definitely key. That would have helped everybody else relieve some pressure. You know, Landry Shamet scoring. Like he got them the right pieces, and then he didn't play them. And then when he did play them, that we ended up beating that game in the Garden, holding them to 94 points, 11-player road. That proved Leon right. That proved the players that he got, you know what I mean? And he didn't use them the way the front office was looking for. So when you get a Johnny Bryant, it's like, we're giving you these pieces, play them the way we're telling you to do. You know what I mean? New Knicks, Johnny Bryant, New Knicks, your thoughts on Johnny Bryant as a head coach?
Give me 1 second. Let me get this camera. Johnny Bryant, he was under Thibodeau for what, 3-4 years?
And he's stuck.
I can't hear
me.
I can't hear.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, right now.
Now we can. Now we can.
I said Johnny Bryant. How long was he under Thibodeau? 3-4 years?
3-4 years.
3 years.
I think he has enough knowledge and wisdom and guidance from Thibodeau. You know, I do think he is for the youth, for the players. He does. He doesn't have. The pros are he is a good he's with the youth for the players.
I can't hear him.
He doesn't have no NBA coaching experience, and this isn't a time for experiment. Yeah, I mean we got the window of 3 years. We don't
There you go.
wondering if somebody could do the job or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean?
Try to stand still there, because when you're walking around, we're losing your signal. But I don't know.
Sorry, my bad. Well, what I said is that we don't have the time to be experimenting with new coaches. We have a short window to play with, and there's no time for games.
Now, I'm going to bring this up real quick because the chat's saying it, and it's been out there in the media. Bodega Wi-Fi says, I'd rather gamble on Sam Cassell. I'd take Rondo over Johnny Bryant. Now, these are names that have been brought up. Sam Cassell, who's been in the game a long time, a great player, been assistant coach probably 10 years at least.
Does he have coaching experience?
He's been assistant coach probably at least 10 years.
Assistant, but does he have coaching?
Not head coaching. So that's why he's bringing it up in comparison to Johnny Bryant. So these names that we're bringing out have never been head coaches. These two are ex-players in the NBA, at least 10 years each. I want to say Rajon Rondo and Sam Cassell, at least 10 years each. They've been assistant coaches. I don't think Rondo's an assistant coach now, but they're saying he's a savant in basketball. He's a great defender. He won the title under Thibodeau. What are you guys' thoughts on ex-NBA players, possibly assistant coaches, in comparison to Bryant? What are your guys' thoughts quickly on Sam Cassell or Rajon Rondo? All three of you, when you get a
Well,
chance.
bringing Rondo in would be like bringing Spoelstra in. As great as he is, he's still the ops. He's Boston. He's made out of Boston cloth, Irish cloth. I don't think that meshes well. I don't think Irish cloth and a steel jersey is a great mesh. Because you have
so kilts and boxers, the knickerbockers and kilts don't mix.
Yeah, you can't have jerseys and kilts on, so that shit ain't gonna work. Sam Cassell, I think his teeth gets in the way of things. I it's all confusing to me. My head is spinning. I'm lost. I don't know.
All right, New Knicks is good. He's out of it on that one. M Spesh. Your thoughts on butter teeth Cassell and kilt wearing Rondo?
Oh my God, bro!
We're talking about kilts and teeth.
Look, this is my most important. This is my most important point on the Knicks next head coach, right? If let's say we would have lost against Detroit, right? I say fire Thibbs, bring somebody in, let them implement their system. It doesn't matter who it is, new guy, old guy, whatever. But guys, we were 2 games away from the finals, bro. This team is ready. All they need is a little bit of tweak here and there. And we win a championship, bro. Why are you going to bring in somebody like Johnny Bryant? Most respect to him. I don't really know the guy. But he's unproven. Sam Cassell, really unproven as a head coach. Rondo, as much of a defensive savant he is, he's unproven as a head coach. We need somebody that's going to come in day one and be like, look, this is what we're doing, and let's go get that chip. You feel me?
Talk.
You know?
Can I rebuttal?
Sure.
Let him finish his point. Let him finish his point. Let him finish his
I'm
point.
done.
Let him
Go ahead.
finish his point.
So my rebuttal is really simple, because you're saying why bring somebody unproven, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And my point is, it's not the same NBA. It's not the NBA of the 80s, 90s, the 2000s. We in 2025. So everybody plays a brand new system, a brand new game. It's not back to the basket anymore. It's 3 3s, 3 3s. So the reason you don't go with someone old is because they're still trying to play the back to the basket game, when today's game is 3 3 3s. So in order for us to move in the right direction, we need somebody from this era. That's why I mean it's kind of like a pet name or whatever, but I call Thibbs a dinosaur because he's from that era.
So two shots. I hear your point.
If you're gonna move on from that era, then don't bring back a fucking T-Rex.
So two shots. Hold on. Let me get his point. Let me get his point.
Can I rebuttal to him after that?
Go.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
I've been trying to speak.
You're next time, Smash. Go ahead.
2 minutes.
Go ahead.
I agree with you. Two shots. Bringing like Thibbs, dinosaur gone, right?
He's gone.
But now we're moving forward, bro. Like we need somebody that's gonna come in and take charge and knows what he's doing, bro. Not somebody that's gonna be like, okay, you know what? Maybe I should play cat like this, or maybe I should play cat like that. I don't want that. I want somebody. And everybody says keep naming people. I don't know any coaches, bro. That's why I was like, why get rid of Thibbs right now? We were 2 games away from the goddamn finals.
Bro, listen, what I'ma say is we gotta fucking think realistic. Right? These little puppies you want from the porch, these little porch puppies you want, there's no time when you're throwing a big ass steak out to lions to throw a puppy out there and try to fucking mingle with lions, my nigga. We don't have the time. We don't have the luxury. I'm going to keep repeating this. We got a 3-year period. with the squad we got. There's no time to be fucking figuring shit out and going to fucking picnics
They can
like
hear you.
Fizdale. I don't have the time.
All right, hey,
Hey,
real
let me
quick.
ask you a
Hold
question.
on. Before you ask the question, hold on. Let me get to the chat because you guys are going off. Let me get to the chat. Hold your questions. Think about it real quick. Nostalgic Knicks, I got the
Well,
answer for you. He said,
sometimes
"I
I
want
try
Tibbs
to
to
figure this guy out, and I don't understand him, bro. This nostalgic news
Who?
guy. Sometimes he looks like
Okay,
he's on our side, and then he be talking shit on another thing. I don't get
Let
this
me
guy.
see. Let me hear. Let me hear. I
But
can't read
let
it.
me get to it. Hey, salute to Nostalgic Knicks. All love for you, my guy. So Nostalgic Knicks says Tibbs got fired. Name them. So he's talking about name coaches. I want Tibbs supporters to call out a coach's name. And Nostalgic Knicks, I'm getting to that. I'm just trying to let my brothers and family brothers here express their opinions. We're going through all the opportunities. Hold on. That's a sentence. I want Tibbs supporters to call out a coach's name. He's wanting us people who love Coach Tibbs to name a coach to replace him, which I'm going to get to that. And that's why we're going down the line of all the names that are out there and available. That's what we're doing right now. We're going through all the names that are possibly available. We're addressing them right now in this chat. I'm going to tell you my opinion. We're going through it as what you're hearing everybody else. I'll tell you my opinion in a second. He says your man got canned.
I definitely said it in my beginning comments. The only two coaches that will gain the respect of New York City and the fucking squad and the media is gonna be Mark fucking Jackson or fucking Jason Kidd. There is no other coaches that you can name that's gonna get this team going with the IQ mentality that Jason Kidd has, with the IQ mentality that Mark Jackson has, and the no nonsense of dealing with the media, dealing with the fan base, and dealing with everything else that comes with signing to New York City.
Okay, now let me address the rest of the chat. Thank you for your feedback. You got your answer. Keith Watkins says Tibbs changed the starting lineup for Game 3. We win that game. That's what sealed his fate, which I said earlier. I agree with you. Once we won that game, that we beat them by 94, he had 10 players, 11 players in the rotation. That sealed his fate. I do agree with you, Keith Watkins, for that. He says that's what sealed his fate. Game 5 was not decided factor for him getting tossed. If we lose Game 3, Tibbs still has a job. I don't know about that, but I think they were already with the bullseye on him. Have y'all discussed Giannis and KD? We're going to get to that in a second, sir. Not that we really want to talk about that, but we're going through it. And we're going through all the skills.
That's another thing. My bad.
Let me go down. Let's get through these coaches, guys.
So what I was gonna say is, no, espérate, hold on. It's
I'm
related
at the
to
homeless sign. Help me.
No. It's related to coaches. Hear me out.
Carry on.
Right.
Yeah, they have relationships with these players. Big deal.
I like J Kidd, but his play style is very ISO heavy also. So
Jason Kidd?
Here's my point. If we're gonna go with J Kidd, then the roster should be we move on from Bodega Cat and we bring in somebody like a Giannis or a KD because that would be his best roster. But if you're gonna go with somebody else, like maybe a Johnny Bryant that can incorporate the whole offense. Let me be clear. I don't want to trade for any of these guys. I want to run it back. But if we're gonna tailor the team to the coach's style, then we need to change the roster if we're going with somebody like a Kid, which again, it's very ISO heavy. He had Luka, barely used Brunson. He has the point guard that I love, Kyrie Irving. He has Kyrie Irving, very Kyrie Irving heavy. Again,
what are you talking about? Him and Kyrie, bro.
He got to change the roster. That's all I'm saying.
Listen. I gotta use the bathroom because my wife's drink has got me litty. New Knicks, go. Everybody take a turn.
Bro, your genie in the bottle theory is like out of proportion, my guy.
What the fuck you in the bottle, bro? What does that mean?
My guy, we just got Cat. You think we're gonna fucking trade Cat? Does that seem
Then don't
logical?
bring Kid. Then don't bring kids.
Bro, bro,
He's
even
not,
if they bring,
Kid is
bro,
Thibodeau 2.0 is my point.
no, this is your theory. If they bring in Johnny Bryant, he's gonna bring in this nigga from the Cavs. If we bring in fucking Jason Kidd, we're gonna bring in Antetokounmpo. Bro, all of that shit is bullshit. The Dolan's not getting rid of the team that we have right now for the next 3-4 years. So
Then don't bring kids. Is my point.
Whoever steps in has to adjust to the team. The team's not adjusting to the fucking coach. I'm sorry.
Bro, you got a circle object and you're trying to fit it into a square hole. It's not gonna work, is my point. If you got somebody like Kidd and you don't bring a team that he can coach, that he can bring the best out of,
my guy,
leave him out of it.
One at a time.
Bro,
one at a time.
Dwight, wait up, bro. You trying to bring us back to fucking square one. We've been through the rebuilding. We're not in rebuilding mode. You want to rebuild us into another 4 fucking years. That's not what we're doing. We got 3 years to win a chip, my nigga. We got 3 years to win 4 fucking chips, my nigga. So all this reconstruction, fucking get a new player, nigga, SMD.
Can you do me a favor? Are you able to go online and see who are the past 5 winners of the NBA championship?
Yes,
listen, hold on. Listen.
Whatever your theory is, they're not here now.
Hold on. All right, listen. Kid, yes or no? 2 shots. Kid, yes or no?
I'm warming up to it, but I don't want him.
New Knicks, Kid, yes or no?
I don't mind him.
M Special, your thoughts on Jason Kidd?
Yeah, I'll take him.
Anything that you've seen that you like, that you didn't like? What would lead you to yeah?
Listen,
he's a great point guard, bro. Like, I think Kidd could come in and make Brunson better.
Yes.
Make Brunson a real point guard. You know what I'm saying? And a closer at the same time. That would be unstoppable, bro.
That's exactly what the Knicks need. And listen, I've been saying it. The only way Jalen Brunson is gonna elevate and take us to the next level is if he becomes a Jason Kidd, a Steve Nash-ish. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to lose his killer instinct. He doesn't have to lose it. But what he needs to lose is that me first mentality. That's not how we're gonna get a chip. This team was built as a team. Like this is what Dolan said. Dolan pictured this like Detroit Pistons when they won. They didn't have a whole bunch of superstars. It was a team-oriented win. The same shit with fucking.
You're making my point for me. If it's a team-oriented game, then why bring an ISO-heavy coach?
You're saying let me go. My guy, you keep saying ISO heavy when he made Luka and Kyrie a ill combo. You keep saying ISO heavy when Jason Kidd never played as an ISO. That was never his game.
That was never his game.
When can you point out a Jason Kidd game and see him as an ISO point guard? It's never happened in history.
Is he going to be the point guard or is he going to be the coach?
That was never his mentality, bro. Jason Kidd
is he going to be the point guard or the coach?
No, listen.
He's going to be the point. He's going to be the point guard leader, like Mikey said.
Is he going to be the one dribbling the ball or is he going to be playing the calls?
It's Jalen fucking Brunson, and Jalen Brunson still has a lot to learn.
Don't talk to me about his game, bro. It's irrelevant.
Bro, Jalen Brunson has a lot to learn, bro.
So
if me at 50 years old could go into the fucking New York Knicks and find split-second decisions that Jalen Brunson can't find at the age of 25, there's a fucking problem, bro.
So let me jump in here. So and I appreciate you guys giving great feedback. Listen, this is your Organic Fanatics. We bump heads, we talk, we get vibe, we get that energy. You know what it is? Ain't nobody like us. We bump heads and then we talk shit later. I appreciate we break bread later. Hey, 2 shots. I like your points. New Knicks. I like your points too. 2 shots out of when if you go back to the roommate show, salute to Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson was saying that he loves Tibbs, but he loves Jason Kidd because Jason Kidd elevated his game, taught him how to be a true point guard on there. He already coached him. Jason Kidd, when there was a point where Luka was
You want me to
injured.
make right from being so?
Hold on, mute it, New Knicks. Mute yourself,
Sorry.
New Knicks. So there was a point where Luka was injured at a point in time, and the Dallas Mavericks were winning. And he said in the media, he said he wanted to let Luka see what it's like to pass the ball and distribute the ball and get everyone else involved. Because if you got everyone else involved, it made the team better. He literally said that on the media stand to reporters and because Luka is a let me first player, and then after I score, I'll distribute. And Luka gets 10 assists a game. Mind you, Luka's a possibly a triple-double player, triple-double threat. And he was saying that so he can get involved. So I think he would help. Hold on, I got your point. I know you want to make a point. But he was getting it to where he would let Jalen Brunson understand that the players around him are just as important as his ability to score. And if he can do that, it makes it easier for him. So I think if Jason Kidd was able to come, he would teach him as a facilitator, as someone who is known as a facilitator and getting other players involved. Then he can be the dynamic scorer that he can. So I think he would help facilitate that as him. Let 2 shots go, and then you go, New Knicks.
I just have a simple rebuttal then. One simple rebuttal. If he's saying all of this, then what I'm understanding is that Kid allowed Luka to do whatever Luka wanted. So we're back to square one with Tibbs and letting Jalen Brunson do whatever he wants.
No.
So again,
They
my
different
point
players,
is
though.
very fucking simple. Okay, if you're gonna fire Tibbs, why hire Tibbs 2.0?
Listen, 2 shots. The reason. Hold on, New Knicks. Hold on, New Knicks. Go ahead. Go say your point. Say your point. Then I'll jump in.
Why is it that you keep reiterating about Jason Kidd being a Tibbs 2.0 when my brother just said that Jason Kidd was setting an example to Luka Doncic with Jalen Brunson on how the team looks when you play team ball. And now, let me tell you another thing.
The lines, bro.
Jason Kidd getting the Dallas job, right? With Luka being the generational talent that Dallas was betting their life savings on. Jason Kidd had to adapt to Luka Doncic. He can't. It's like LeBron going to Cleveland. Mike Brown or whoever it was, they gotta cater to the generational talent, bro. He can't just say, hey, Luka, look, I'm going to change you. He can't change his game if he's been succeeding that way. He has to gradually cater to his shit and guide him into the rest. The same thing that he's going to do for Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, we all know he's a killer. He got an award for being a killer. You know what I mean? Clutch player means killer player. So we all know he's a killer. But if you can't get the rest of your teams, which he's been neglecting Miguel Bridges, he's been neglecting Hart, he's been neglecting Cat. He's been neglecting fucking Mitchell Robinson. These are all things that we've been seeing since day one. When Jalen Brunson came, me and my brother would be like, yo, why isn't he running pick and rolls with fucking Mitch? Lob City. This should have been Lob City. But that's one more thing.
Or maybe I'm stupid. I don't know.
Hold on, 2 shots. Then you go. Hold on, 2 shots. Then you go.
You can't say that Jason Kidd. I mean that Jalen Brunson was raised by Tibbs. Rick Brunson was raised by Tibbs. So everything that Jalen Brunson does is definitely a DNA of Tibbs. So Tibbs doesn't have to tell Brunson what to do because he was raised by Tibbs.
2 shots. So let
So
me let me
I
go.
think
Go
once
ahead, 2
again, I
shots.
think there's a disconnect, or maybe I'm not understanding. But you're saying Coach A
Let me
allowed
respond to you,
someone to
Knicks.
get away with murder, and
Let me
now
respond to
you're
you, Nick.
saying you want Coach B to allow someone to get away with murder. Because
Hold
once
on.
again, my point is he was an ISO heavy coach with Luca and Brunson. He had all these guys, but the reason that they uh succeeded is because they had a bunch of 3-and-D players.
No,
So
no.
there was no offensive system. It was give it to Kyrie or give it to JB and let go to work and figure it out. This is what I'm understanding. This is what Sid did, and this is what Kid did. So my point is, if they both have similar coaching styles, why would you get rid of Tibbs? My man Spence said he took us 2 games to the finals. Why get rid of him if you're not gonna change?
Hey, what you keep saying is that Jason Kidd was Russell Westbrook as a player. Jason Kidd was never Russell Westbrook.
I never brought him as a player.
Hey, my God.
Yo, hold on, Bofi, hold on. Let me enter. Hold on.
No, let me break this down simple. That's you know who Chris, my guy, that's like saying Chris Paul, who's been a pass first, always guard, right? Comes into becoming a coach and is gonna start fucking telling their guards to play ISO heavy. Every coach that has been a guard is going to cater to how they play, my guy. Jason Kidd has never played like an ISO fucking player. You keep saying this shit. He had to adapt to Luka fucking Doncic. Luka fucking Doncic, my nigga. A generational talent. We're not talking about fucking Paul George. We're not talking about fucking Obi Toppin. We're talking about a generational fucking talent. Stop saying Jason Kidd is an ISO fucking coach. It's annoying.
All right, let me get it. Hold on, 2 shots. Let me just explain it to you.
Yeah.
I understand.
Say what you gotta say. I'm done on this subject.
I got you. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. So Jason Kidd is not a Thibodeau type of coach that he's gonna just cater to the player. To my brother's point, he had to cater to Luka Doncic, who's a generational player. Which, as an organization for Dallas Mavericks, they were like, "Yo, this is our prodigy. You got to do whatever." Jalen Brunson is a different type of player. He's a cerebral player. He will take advice. He listened to Jason Kidd before. Jason Kidd honed him into a better type of a point guard. He would be able to receive the information that Jason Kidd has given him and make him into a better player. As for facilitating the other players, as we've seen, I think Jason Kidd can get the best out of Jalen Brunson that aspect where he can still get him to score 40 points per game and even get 10 to 12 assists per game by getting others involved and helping them understand the game to let the others get involved. Jalen Brunson is a cerebral player. Jason Kidd is a cerebral coach. So they would be a meeting of the minds where you have players like Luka Doncic and LeBron James that they have their head and their stature above anything and above everything. They're putting themselves first above the team. Where Jalen Brunson is not that player, you already seen it with the type of contract he took, that is not his style of thinking, and that is not his style. So that's why Jason Kidd, as a player and as a coach, would fit well with this team. That's why you see them go after Udoka, who's a great defensive player. That's why you see them go after Jason Kidd. Out of those two that are sign, you want to go for those 2 players who are very good and who would fit with this New York team. So it's about fit and maximizing the player's skill set and getting them to a successful place. That's why you see the team go after a Udoka. That's why you see the team go after a Jason Kidd, because out of any signed coach, those 2 would fit the mold of what we are looking for and would be ideal. Now, the teams won't let them go, but if the coach is willing to let go of that job and move for here, then you would get those as the 2 top best candidates. That's why you see them go after the Houston and ask for it. Udoka's in the West, but he maximized the opportunity with his talent of the young kids in Houston. He got them better. They're ready to win now. So I don't think Udoka goes anywhere. Jason Kidd is in a different position. He's in a team where they put ahead Luca. They traded this generational talent that they forced him to coach and train and kind of subside to what you're talking about and deal with him. Then you give him AD and Kyrie who are injured. Why would you want to stay in that environment? If you give him a option to go to somewhere else where you have a Cat, a Jalen Brunson, who you've coached before, an OG Anunoby, who's a top elite defensive player, and Mikal Bridges, you give him a better situation, would more than likely lure him to get out of there and coach this team into a winning position, especially in the East. So that's why you go for Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd is willing to teach Brunson, and Brunson is willing to be taught. There's a difference there. Luca is not in the mindset of being taught. He's in the mindset of I'm going to fight for my legacy, and then anything after that, you deal with what I give you. That's a LeBron mentality. That's a difference between that. So he had to deal with Luca wanting to shoot all his shots, not pass the ball, and that's why he went on the media when he was injured to say this is to show Luca what it is if he facilitated the ball. He had to do it when Luca was injured. He didn't have that option, and Luca wasn't listening to his feedback, which is why you see him as a Thibbs, no one listening to him type of coach. That's why he would fit with what we're doing. So Kidd would be the second best option after Udoka, which Udoka's probably not going to happen. Jason Kidd would be, if he can poach, and to what M Special saying, if he says yes, that is your top candidate. Jason Kidd would be your top candidate to fit to take you to that next level to win because he has all the right pieces that are healthy and
Breaking
available.
news. Breaking news. I just got a call. Mark Jackson will be the coach.
Listen,
Fuck everybody.
my brother. Listen, all right. So Jason
I mean, we're
Kidd
talking
would be,
about this guy, but Jason, the team's already said no, so we can't interview any of these guys.
but he can force his way out. The difference is, here's the difference. M Special, you were asking about. You asked for it earlier. Hold on, but let me explain it to him, bro. Because so the coach they can ask Dallas if they want to interview. The team can say no. It's up to the coach to force his way out. The full coach can says, you know what? I want to interview for this position. I don't like the way you guys handle Luca. I don't like the trade that you made to get AD here. I don't like the fact that I have to coach another year with Kyrie injured. I don't have confidence in Kyrie coming back and that it's going to be successful.
Dwight. It's plain and simple. Where? Okay. Let's look at the options. Kyrie's Jason Kidd is in the West. There's nobody going nowhere in the West, number one. Number two, he has a riddled team. Number three, if he comes to New York, he has all the weapons he needs. He has a foundation that Thibbs laid where it's already at 70%. He just need to add that 30% more. He needs to add that little 30% more to get us over the hump. Number four, if any coach comes here and they know we're on the urge of winning a championship, if New York City wins a championship, that'll take their coaching career to another stratosphere.
New Knicks, real quick. Jason Kidd, yes or no?
Of course.
2 shots, yes or no on Jason Kidd?
I'm leaning no, but I'm warming up to it, like I said.
M Special, Jason Kidd, yes or no?
Yes.
There you go. I am for Jason Kidd. I don't know. It's up to Kidd. So M Special, to your point, it's up to Kidd to say, you know what? I really want this, and then they can negotiate other ways to get him out of that contract that he has or extension.
Gotcha.
So he could. They put it on there for him to say. Now it's up to Kidd to say, you know what? I think this is something that I want to do, and he forces the hand of Dallas to say, you know what? And this is why New York did it. New York did it now, so it's early enough for Dallas to search for a coach You know what I mean? With Kyrie out and AD and all that, for them to do a coaching search themselves. That's why the firing of Thibbs at this time was important, because they already knew. So people that think that Leon is not on point, Leon was way ahead of the game. What people were talking about, he did the Thibbs firing early, so that way he knew he can try to poach these coaches. So that way it gives the other team enough time to search for a coach for themselves to get them involved for their summer camp. This is how far ahead Leon Rose, in my opinion, is. So that's why he did that. So if Jason Kidd says yes, I think Jason Kidd is their number one target. It's up to him now if he wants to do it. Jason Kidd would have less than a week to do it. If you don't see it by next Sunday, you can forget about Jason Kidd. So Jason Kidd is out the picture. He got a week to do it. They put it on the pressure on him. So Jason Kidd has less than a week to say yes or no, and then they're going to move on to the next person, in my opinion. Jason Kidd, I think, would be the number one pick of what they're looking for. Because guess why? Jalen Brunson said after Thibbs, it's Jason Kidd. And they're going to listen to their players. As you guys said in the exit interview, Jason Kidd said if it's not, Jalen Brunson said if it's not Thibbs, I would want Jason Kidd. And that's where he went on that, in my opinion. So he said, the player said I would, and a lot of players, Gianna said he likes Kidd if that's in the ballpark. KD, if that's in the ballpark, which I don't believe in anyway, but players like playing for Kidd. Players in the NBA like Kidd, and that would bring players to want to play for New York. Which a lot of players said they don't like Thibodeau because they don't want to play for him. So Kidd is a coachable coach that everybody likes playing for. So that's another positive for him. I think Kidd would be the ideal choice. Now it's up to him to move it. Let's move on real quick. We got 3 other candidates real quick to say. Taylor Jenkins, the Memphis Grizzlies coach who got fired, who was coaching Ja Morant. Great defensive coach. He was top 6 in NBA for the last 3 years. Great defensive mind. Young coach, 2 shots. He's a young coach, fresh blood. He played for Minnesota. Prior to that, he didn't have any coaching experience. Taylor Jenkins coached Ja Morant. They were one of the top defensive teams in the last 3 years that he played with them. They had a lot of injuries riddled with JJJ and Ja Morant missing and the NBA going after him. Taylor Jenkins is a great defensive young coach who's done great, and even in the West. Taylor Jenkins as a head coach option. Do you guys think that that's something that they can take? He's a great defensive coach. He's young and new blood. He got them far in the West. Do you think that he could be an option for the New York Knickerbockers?
Bro, I mean, I don't know about Jenkins, Tankins. Listen, you might as well say Fizdale's name. I don't need no experiments. If I don't know their name as a coach or as a player, yeah.
But respectfully, you don't watch the ops, so he's good. So New York says no. Respectfully, you don't watch the ops. M Special, you see Ja Morant. They had Steven Adams. They had some young talent on there. Great defensive team. Probably the last 3 years, he's been in the top 6 percentile of defense, give or take. They've come close, but they've had a lot of injuries. The NBA was attacking Ja Morant. That basically removed him from the team for the last 2 years. M Special, your thoughts on Taylor Jenkins as an option?
I don't really know much about the guy. I know he's 40 years old, so he's a young coach.
41.
But what I'm reading here, he was the all-time leader in wins for the Grizzlies.
All-time leader in what?
All-time leader in wins in Grizzlies history. 6 seasons. I mean, right now we got nothing, so anything is pretty much better than nothing.
My question to that coach, just a random question. Did he give Ja Morant the gun?
No. Oh, maybe.
No, okay. I just want to make sure that he's not handing out guns.
He didn't.
How he feels about this.
He didn't pack the Mac in the back of the act, so he did 2 shots. Taylor Jenkins would be similar to what you're looking at. He's a crossbreed. He would be young blood. He's a defensive coach, like similar to Thibodeau. He's managed elite talent, Ja Morant. He's had big centers like Steven Adams. He had Jaren Jackson Jr. in his team. He led the West. The West was one of the top teams when they were all healthy about 2-3 years ago. That he led them to the top of the West. They almost made the finals. So Taylor Jenkins is one of the top out of the young talent. I think he's probably the premier top young talent in the NBA as a coach who has head coaching experience. Your thoughts on Taylor Jenkins?
I had to do my research on the offensive side for him. I don't know what his play style is, but I'm assuming it's ISO if you got Morant in there because he's just a tremendous talent offensively. But I do like what he did with Memphis. You can sell me on him. You can sell me on him.
And I will. So Taylor Jenkins is someone who I do like. Now, with the pressure of win it all now, I don't know how the front office looks at that. He is a young coach. He's done well with Jaren Jackson Jr., who's basically a more defensive cat, who's often injured. So he has had elite talent at that position as a power forward, who he's maximized his opportunity. He had a Steven Adams, which is basically an older Mitch. He's had a wonderful point guard, Ja Morant, which is kind of like a Jalen Brunson. He's had other 3-and-D players. He's had some other 3-and-D players who he has. So he's coached
Desmond Bane and them.
Desmond Bane, who's similar to, let's say, like an OG. So he's had.
Did you compare Ja Morant and Brunson?
As far as the coaching, obviously, I'm not saying they're the same person, but I'm evaluating the coach of examining how the coaches handle top talent at each position. Ja Morant is similar as far as a talent compared to Jalen Brunson. Jaren Jackson Jr. is similar to Cat in that position. Steven Adams is similar to Mitchell Robinson in that position. So he's coached a team to the close to the Western Conference Final. The Western Conference Final. This is in the West. So he's managed this young team in the West.
But my question is that if I already told you who Dolan was gonna hire, why are we still going through candidates?
That's your opinion, because
Bro, it's the off season, bro. Let's talk about it.
It's not an opinion.
Listen, Taylor Jenkins, don't sleep on this cat. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, don't sleep on Taylor Jenkins. Taylor Jenkins is, I want to say, listen, you can laugh all you want. He is top. I'll tell you. Look, I'm gonna give you a number. He is top 3. I'll tell you right now. Taylor Jenkins is top 3. Of course you didn't, because you don't watch the ops. I sleep, eat, and breathe basketball. Taylor Jenkins is top 3 in the NBA in the choice, and I'm sleeping on 3. I would say 2. Now, the 2 that I would say before him.
Has he been mentioned in the media? Because I don't remember him being
I ain't the media. I'm not the media. I study this. Media is just gonna look for whatever brings them more cap and clicks. Cap and clicks. Now,
well, let me propose a question. Let me pose the questions to you guys, because I'm reading all these articles, and for the last 2 days, there's only been 2 names that the Knicks are looking at right now.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Kidd.
They said no. Well, no, he's not on there. They got denied Jason Kidd. They got denied the guy from Houston. They got denied the guy from Sacramento. I forgot his name.
Mm-hmm. Brown.
So the only 2 candidates that they don't need permission for and that they're looking at right now.
That's the 2 that I'm gonna talk about.
Is Mike Brown,
Budenholzer, and Malone.
No. Mike Brown and Jenkins.
Well, Taylor Jenkins is 1. You don't need permission from him because he got fired.
Brown who?
Mike Brown.
Mike Brown, who got fired from Sacramento Kings.
Mike Brown. Okay.
Mike Brown, who got fired from Sacramento Kings, who won a championship or went to the finals with LeBron. He was with the Sacramento Kings with De'Aaron Fox. And Mike Brown is not going to be a candidate. I'll tell you why. Because Mike Brown went far with the Sacramento Kings. He did a great job with them coaching, great young team. But the minute he aired out De'Aaron Fox, who they traded anyway, he turned on the players and was talking about them in the media. You can't do that in New York. You can't talk shit about Jalen Brunson in the media.
What did he say about Fox?
He was talking about Fox, that Fox basically called him out by name. You know, Thibbs would never do that. He said we need to
What
work
did
on
he
certain
say?
things, but he said that Fox needs to work on looking at. I think it was working with the other team or facilitating or something that he basically called them out. I'm not gonna bring because I don't have it on facts. I don't want to misquote him, but he basically called out the star player by name, which you've never heard Tibbs say. That's a media faux pas in New York. In New York, you never heard Tibbs say. He says we got to look at the stats or we need to work on other things. He'll say that, but he'll never air a player out. Mike Brown was used to doing that on a regular basis, airing out, especially the star player. You can't do that in New York. You can't mention Jalen Brunson, say Jalen Brunson's pounding the air out of the ball. What would Thibodeau say? We need to work on spraying the ball and making the right read. Right? That's him saying Jalen Brunson, you need to pass the ball.
The game tells you what to do.
Oh, there you go. See, you got it, right? You got it. He would never say that Jalen Brunson needs to pass the ball to you know what I'm saying? Mike Brown is known for airing the players out, and that's not going to fly in New York.
What if we need a New York type personality as the coach? Somebody that's going to call a motherfucker out. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't that
Somebody
what
that's going to call a motherfucker out and not keep it like in-house. What do you think?
Right, exactly. And
Fuck
the
it.
only
Let's blow this shit up. What's up?
I'm muted.
Molotov.
Boom.
Go ahead. I'm gonna take a step up. You guys talk.
Why.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
I just really don't know why we keep overlooking Mark Jackson and Jason Kidd. Listen, one thing we do know about Leon Rose, when he has his mindset on something, he definitely goes for it, and he's always gonna go for what makes the best sense for the team. And also he's going to go above and beyond to make sure he executes that. And I don't think he's done with Dallas. I really think Jason Kidd is the best candidate, but not before Mark Jackson. But that will be Dolan's choice to bring in, and we all know bringing in Mark Jackson is going to bring in a little more than just basketball. They're going to, but I think, the only person that's going to demand that and call the players out and sit them the fuck down, because I've seen Mark Jackson sit niggas down. And the only person that's going to do that is Mark Jackson or Jason Kidd.
Okay. I respect your opinion.
I don't see Budenholzer. I don't see Schnauzer. I don't see Jenkins.
I'm gonna get right to the point.
Black, green.
Let me read the chat real quick. Let me read the chat while you guys are good. Salute to the chat. Salute to Just Knicks in the building coming in. Salute to the Machete in the building. He's in the chat because he just dipped on here, but we appreciate you.
Yo, what you doing in the chat, nigga? Bring your ass back on screen, scary ass nigga. I can't stand it. Bro, why we got shook niggas on the show, bro? Nigga,
that's the shit that gets me mad. Niggas be running on the show.
To the chat. Bro,
salute to Bodega Wi-Fi. Bodega Wi-Fi saying it's a players' league. The NBA isn't like the Larry Brown era anymore. Buzzer Beater says, I want Kid. Let me see here.
I agree with Buzzer Beater.
Buzzer Beater says, Just Knicks was good. He was talking about you. Agreed with you. TJ, so Bodega Wi-Fi likes the coach from Memphis. I like that coach. I'm not saying that's going to be the move on there for you. Budenholzer comes from the pop coach tree. I wouldn't mind him at all. You beat me to it, but I'm going to say it anyway. So here it is. These last two coaches, I think, are really what the Knicks are looking for. And I think Leon Rose himself isolated these coaches because they were made available. You don't have to do anything for them. I think he, like I told you guys, I think he cast the net out. I think he reached to the Jason Kidd, the Udoka, to satisfy the other players, the other people in the front office. Even the buddy from Minnesota. I think they reached out to satisfy the needs of everybody that at least Leon attempted to reach out to him. But if you're replacing Thibodeau, the point of replacing and firing Thibodeau was right there, as M. Spesh said, ready to win the championship. If he had one more year, he'd get us there. But as we all discussed, and we found out that when Thibodeau played his 10, 11-man rotation that we beat Indiana, we saw that depth is key. You're seeing in this finals with two shots of saying with the young coach, he's playing 10, 11 players. That's the new era of what we're looking at. You're seeing Rick Carlisle, who's an old savvy coach who has more than 80 wins as a
You got
playoff.
10-man rotation too, though.
But that's what, to my point. That's what I was saying for you. To your point, he's playing 10-man. He's an older player. He's an older coach, but he's playing 10-man rotation. This is a new era. Is not you get your best 3 to 5 players and you run with that. The new era is probably playing players. Thibodeau proved himself out of a job by playing 10-man, shutting the defense down. So who would play that? The remaining players, the remaining coaches who are available, who have a proven track record, who have a proven not only playing with elite talent, who have won the chip. The only remaining players is Mike Budenholzer,
Malone.
sorry, and Mike Malone are the two that are left that have won the chip, that have had elite talent and have coached them. You talk about Mike Budenholzer, who if people are talking about Giannis, who had talent, Mike Budenholzer coached Giannis to a championship with Drew Holiday, and he's played with those talents. So he's someone who's won the chip, who's available, who you can coach, who has the experience of leading elite talent. He's available now. You don't have to do anything but hire him. And then who I think the choice would be, a lot of people don't like him, but Mike Malone, who is a New Yorker, who's thick skinned, who was M Special saying has not a problem calling players out.
Pause.
Didn't he have problems with Jokic, and that's why he was fired?
He was fired because he called out players, as what M Source was saying, who has the fortitude to call players out who weren't watching films, whether it was a Russell Westbrook, whether it was anybody else that weren't watching the plays and what he had set plays that they weren't doing, called them out, and they eventually got tired of his voice, but they did win with him. He was with them over 6-7 seasons. They were the top team in the West for multiple years. This is where you would have someone that I think would win. Hold on, let me finish this point. Who you have someone who would maximize Cat, who can maximize, who had Jamal Murray, who can help Jalen Brunson get to that next level. Who you have someone like OG Anunoby, whether it's a Porter Jr., he can help maximize. I think someone whose skill set, I like Mike Malone. Are they perfect? None of these coaches are perfect, but I think the experience, and if you're in a win now situation, which the Knicks obviously are, you want a coach who is taking you there, and if you make trades, that players want to play for you. And I think that's where Mike Malone and Budenholzer are the top two names out there other than Taylor Jenkins.
I agree with you. I do like coaches that drive fortitudes. Yeah, I mean that's a good card. But I don't know if they can stand the pressure.
Mike Malone's from New York. He's handled it. He's won the chip already.
Listen. Gun to my head. I'm going Mike Malone.
You just said I want new. I don't want to Daniel. I don't want to Daniel.
What did I say? Gun to my head. Gun to my head. Meaning I don't have a choice. I'm going Mike Malone. I'm going Malone over Budenholzer.
And he led Jokic to 2 MVPs, probably 3, really.
And their offense was phenomenal. Very free-flowing, all over the place.
And they did great defense. They were on top defense. So out of those two, I think 1, 2, 3 is Mike Malone, Budenholzer, Taylor Jenkins. That's, I think, the order of where it is right now. In my opinion, I could be completely wrong, but if I'm looking at what they did, they got rid of Thibbs, who's established a culture, a winning coach, and you want to win right now. Thibbs was right there. And who's going to take you to that next tier? Someone who's been there already. As much as I like any of the other coaches, Mike Malone has won with elite talent, has transformed elite talent. He's won it. Budenholzer has won it with elite talent, and players like playing for him. TJ would be the young person that you're talking about, 2 shots as a young person, new blood, would be that TJ. That's what I'm thinking there.
One thing, who was a candidate before Phil Jackson was Jason Kidd. They were seriously considering Jason Kidd before they got Phil Jackson. Wasn't that the rumor?
I agree with you guys. If that's why they asked. That's why they asked. That's what you cast the net out. Ideally, if I'm thinking the Knicks organization front office choice, it's Udoka Jason Kidd, and if they're not available, then I'm going Mike Malone, Bud Hoser, Taylor Jenkins. And I think that's why they did it. They cast it out there. Now they're still waiting to see if either one, Udoka or Jason Kidd, says, you know what, I think this is a thing for me. If Jason Kidd says he wants to do it, Jason Kidd has a job. There's nothing out there. Jason Kidd says, I think I like this job. They're gonna do whatever they do and get Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd, I think, is after Udoka is Jason Kidd. If Jason Kidd doesn't force his way out, then you look at the other three options I just said.
Leon Rose is gonna send two things to Dallas: a black rose and a black duffel bag.
Duffel bag of cash.
That black Louis duffel bag.
But I gotta be Louis.
Yeah, because
presentation is everything. Presentation is everything.
It's the message.
Sometimes the kid wants to speak French. Oui. So listen, the bag is too. The bag is humongous. The him winning in New York City, the competition of the East. You got to remember, a lot of these coaches ain't gonna want to fucking stick it out. Like you said, it's too many obstacles. It's too many obstacles and hurdles for Jason Kidd to choose Dallas over the Knicks. And like I said, my nickname is Phil Stradamus, and I do have the intuition to tell you. And like I said, we're going after two things to stick it to the NBA. And the only way you stick it to the NBA is snatching Jason Kidd from Dallas, or getting Mark Jackson. And
salute to the chat. Hey, salute to you guys. Hey, buzzer beater. Yes, Thibodeau did call out RJ, but RJ was a rookie, so you got to kind of mention him out there to get him motivated. But salute to you on that. So my brother says Mark Jackson first. Who's the second option after Mark Jackson? Kidd.
Jason Kidd. Those are the only options as a diehard Knicks fan that I think makes sense. Listen, the other options aren't options for me. Like I said, the window is too small. I don't think those other coaches, as much accolades as they have, are gonna have the vision. You got to remember, these two coaches that I'm telling you were Hall of Fame point guards. That's who I want. That's I don't care. I don't want them to win. I want them to teach Jalen.
What? You don't want them to win? That's the whole point of the firing. The whole point of the firing is why they want to win. That's the entire point of the firing for Thibodeau. That's the whole point of it. And while he comes back to that crazy point and that crazy take, M. Spesh, your thoughts on Mike Malone, Budenholzer, or Taylor Jenkins in general?
Budenholzer?
Budholzer, Budenhole.
You know what? I don't even know how to say his name, so don't worry about it.
They're both Mikes. Mike 2, Mike 1.
They both won a championship, right?
Mike B. They both won a championship.
So I'll just throw a dart on the board. Whichever one sticks, I'll take them.
And that's what people think Leon Rose is doing. So we're gonna use the M Spesh method of throwing the dart on the board. So who did your dart land on?
I take Mike Malone.
I like that. Okay.
You know.
Okay. Well, you want to add to that?
I mean, he turned Joker around into an MVP.
Multiple times.
You know, multiple times. He won a championship in Denver. Right? I mean, this year, like, it's really, why did he get fired? He called out, what's his name? That's why he got fired?
I thought he called out Joker.
It's not so much he called Joker. He was butting heads with the front office because the front office in Denver is cheap.
So it wasn't because he was doing bad. Basically,
it wasn't because basically they basically were being real cheap because they got rid of the players. They got Buddy that's in Indiana, Brown, Bowden, whatever his name was. So they got rid of players that when they won the championship, they didn't keep those players because of money. You know, Dolan is not about that. If we're winning chips, he'll pay whatever. But because they went cheap and he had to try to keep these players, and then on top of that, when they got Russell Westbrook, there was some players that just weren't looking at the scheme. So he said, I show players film. I give them film to look at what they can get better on, and they were looking at film. So they basically kind of tune them out, but they're prima donnas at that level. The players that we have now in the Knicks, Cat, he can get Cat to another level, which Thibodeau obviously did. You got Brunson, who's not that caliber player. He's a cerebral player. They're about winning. You got Josh Hart, who's a cerebral player about winning. You know what I'm saying? It's a different mindset. The players are different. You know what I mean?
I think all our players are coachable.
Yeah.
Which Mike Malone would fit that. You know what I'm saying? Like these players would fit that where they would receive his information. They know that he's won. They would respect him because he's won, because he's been with teams that have been very well. You know what I mean? So that was where I think the players would respect him as a coach. He's won it. He's won it before, and they can get him to that promised land. Mike Budenholzer as well, but I think Mike Malone is a better fit because he's the all the players on Denver match a similar format to what we have now. At a young age, impressionable, young enough, healthy, where he can get them there for a big run, multiple-year run, is, in my opinion, for Mike Malone.
You know what? I think you just told me I'm Malone.
And that's just my opinion on Malone. Like, because if you have to think about the whole thing. So as much as we like each coach and different coach, what is the front office got rid of Thibodeau for a reason. As good as he got us to the ECF, they want to win right now. Who would they believe out of all these players can take us literally next year to an ECF or a win? That's what you got to look at. That before you look at anything, what I like, who I like, what is the front office? If they got rid of Thibodeau, who got us 5 years out of the gutter, got us literally to the ECF, who do they think could do a better job than him? That's what you got to think about it that way. As much as we think whatever, how does the front? Who could do better than Thibodeau
That's what
right
I've been
now?
trying to say since the beginning.
No, and I agree with you. I agree with you, Special. Who has the pedigree? Who has the history of doing it? You know what I'm saying? And go ahead.
Guys, listen. Like I said, my two candidates are both point guards, bro. We do not need a coach to get us to the win. We need listen to what I'm saying. We need Jalen Brunson to become a better point guard, IQ, visually, all of the little mishaps that he has. We need Jalen Brunson to become a better point guard for us to win. It doesn't matter what coach you bring in.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
If the coach does not focus on Jalen Brunson having a better vision and a better fucking mentality and could explain that as a player first, a player that has done it at elite levels with elite players, and the only persons that could do this is Mark Jackson and Jason Kidd.
Okay, let me ask.
Unless Chris,
who has the most assists in Denver? Is it Jamal Murray or is it Jokic?
Jokic.
Who is similar to Jokic, Cat or Brunson?
Cat.
All right.
That's why you showed me. As soon as you said we have comparable players, I started thinking. I'm like, damn, we do have a good vision in Cat that can pass the ball. We have a scoring guard, Jamal Murray, aka Jalen Brunson.
The guy.
And then I started picturing the offense just like Denver, and that's how you sold me. And I swear to God, I mean, if you give me my choice, I'm still going Johnny Bryant because I want somebody new. But gun to my head, you sold me on Malone. That's it. I saw the Knicks. That's like Denver, bro. All over the place.
Was Malone an NBA player? Was he a point guard?
I don't give a fuck about anything. Gun to head, I'm going Malone because he already proved it in Denver. And if he can take what he did in Denver and implement it here, Just think about it. Think about it. Think about the personnel he had, and think about the personnel he's going to have in the Knicks.
Exactly.
And he used a
Exactly.
bench.
right,
He's
all
used
right.
a bench.
What
He's
I'm
used a
saying,
bench.
I'm an old school nigga, right? So if I give all of these coaches sneakers, right, and a fucking basketball, who the fuck is gonna come out the
No, I don't
victor?
give a fuck about how
Like,
you play, man.
bro,
Talk to me about how you coach. You could be the
bro,
worst fucking shooter. You could have
bro,
no game in the world. But if you're all about X's and O's as a coach, give me that motherfucker.
New Knicks,
bro,
I agree. I agree with you with Jason Kidd and Mark Jackson would get the best
bro.
out of.
All right, what does the Knicks need for us to win a championship? Is it not us needing Jalen Brunson to become a better assist?
No,
A
I'm
better
not trying to change his play style.
What do
A,
you-
I'm not trying to change his play style. B, he's already a good enough assist player.
I'm
He's already
No,
averaging 8. Like, what the fuck? You want him to average 15?
my nigga, stop reading stats and fucking fictions, my nigga.
Oh,
The-
my God. Now it's okay.
that
New Knicks.
Jalen Brunson does not play like a fucking point first. He doesn't make his players better, bro. He's not
New
making
Knicks.
anyone on the team better. He's
New
not
Knicks.
making anyone on the team better.
Jalen.
And if him and Cat have a situation going on where they're bickering, then get rid of Cat or whatever. Because
You're
I see
crazy.
there's something going on behind
Bro.
between Jalen Brunson and Cat. There's something going on between those two. I don't know what it is.
Bro,
But
Jalen Brunson.
Playing like a dynamic duel. Something happened that it swayed away from that. We should have been elevating and getting better.
Jalen Brunson is 6'2", 6'3". He doesn't have the height to pass, especially when he's being double teamed. That's why you would have a Mike Malone facilitate someone who's the tallest player, who's a good assist player, i.e., hold on, my nigga. Let me say, you got Cat, who's someone who can play the top of the key, like how Thibbs used to play Noah, and just like how Mike Malone played Jokic at the top of the key to facilitate, and it makes it easier for Brunson to go around as a moving screen, which I was saying to play like Steph Curry, to be off the ball where he doesn't have to get double teamed the entire court.
Ding,
and then
ding,
you
ding.
have Cat.
What's my sound
Then
bite?
you have Cat at the top of the key to move the ball. If Jalen Brunson's open, Cat can facilitate. When we dominated these other teams was when Cat was giving doubles and assisting. Most of the best highlights we have this year is when Cat's giving assist play to either to everybody else on the team. When you have Cat as a facilitator and the scorer as a primary threat, then you have a dangerous team. You can maximize Cat. He's a better player than even a Giannis would. That's why you don't make a Giannis move. You have someone who can shoot the three and who can pass and who's 7 feet and can drive in the paint.
You guys want to focus more on running plays and executing for Cat than getting Jalen Brunson's mentality out the gutter and being a better player. Okay.
It's not that.
That's the difference. You're focused on fucking development. We're focused on winning.
The best way to get team. The best way to get.
We were winning when Jalen Brunson and Cat was playing as a dynamic duel the whole fucking beginning of the fucking season.
And that's what he's saying Malone would do.
Listen, Brunson was getting close to 8 assists a game. I agree with you. Jalen Brunson was getting close to 8 assists. 8 assists a game. The time that he did have the 12 assists, they're keying in on him. They're getting 2 people on him. You can't average 10 assists when you have 2 people on you. So you have to utilize your other players, i.e. Cat, and that's why they were trying to use Josh Hart to pass the ball, but Josh Hart couldn't do it when he's jumping in the air and causing turnovers. So you must facilitate and use Cat. That Cat is the player to use.
So everybody here that has been watching Knicks basketball is gonna tell me that they don't constantly see Jalen Brunson avoiding Cat.
Okay.
That's where the coach comes in.
Hold on. Let's nip this in the bud right now. There's no way that Jalen Brunson can ignore Cat if Cat is bringing up the ball and starting the offense, which is what Malone did in Denver. That's the point.
We don't need that.
Oh,
We don't need
Lord have mercy.
We don't need that.
All right. I can't.
You rather have Cat bring up the ball, or I mean, before Bridges or Hart.
No, you would have, the way it would work is you would have Bridges bring up the ball or OG. You have Bridges, more than likely it's gonna be Bridges.
But that's what Malone had Joker doing it in Denver also.
Joker or Bridges, you have, which more than likely you have Bridges bringing up the ball, who gets him going off early. Then when he crosses a half court, you give it to Cat. Cat would be at the top of the key, facilitate. Brunson can roam freely where he's not having two people to roll on. If you can score, bro. And then if you get it to Cat in the middle.
You are singing my song, bro. That's it. I'm sold. That's it.
Oh, just overall for winning, I think he would be able to open up at everyone's game. That gets Josh to whether he's a bench player and they get someone else, and you minimize that. It's different, and maybe he does it with Mitch in the starting lineup. I don't know, but I think overall he can facilitate this team better and get them to a place better where he's managed a team in depth, and he has used Bruce Bowen. He's used other players. He goes to the bench. He uses players to help him, get to that point. So he's not scared of using the bench.
Okay. Let me ask you guys one question, right? There's only one motherfucker that signs checks, right? His name is James motherfucking Dolan.
Mm-hmm.
And the one time we seen him in the last 4 fucking years was only on the Roommates podcast. Now, to his iteration of a championship version of a team, the Detroit Pistons or the Warriors play center-heavy point guard. No.
They didn't have that talent. They didn't have that talent.
It was the
let him finish the shots.
It is the fluidity of the team running down. Cat cannot bring the ball down if we're playing fast fucking break basketball. If you bring Jason Kidd here, Jason Kidd is not pounding. Jason Kidd is gonna make sure that ball goes across from the time it gets handed in to the other side within 3 fucking seconds. Jason Kidd is a fast break type of a coach. You understand what I'm saying? The New York Knicks.
Hold on, 2 shots. Let me answer that.
The game that you guys want the Knicks to play is a slow half-court offense, which they only do that with Denver because the fat motherfucker is too slow and stagnant to fucking run at a fast break pace, my nigga.
Can I answer that? Can I answer that? Can I answer?
The New York Knicks. No, the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks ran. The New York Knicks' best game was when we were with what? A fast break team. A fast fucking break team.
Can I answer?
Not
Can I answer?
right to the half court. It should be right on top of this.
All right, so you mentioned Detroit Pistons because he was on the Roommate show. He was talking, and the point he was trying to make, talking about the Detroit Pistons, was that it was a bunch of non-superstar players and they played as a team. That's the point that he was making. That they didn't have just LeBron and Melo and Chris.
Right.
Can I finish the point?
Their style was running down the street and running.
So let me.
What y'all want offense.
So is Ben Wallace similar to Mitchell Robinson? Yes or no? Is Rasheed Wallace similar to Cat? Yes or no?
Rasheed Wallace similar to Cat? No.
He didn't shoot 3-pointers and wasn't a shooter?
All right, yeah.
Okay. Was Chauncey Billups similar to, other than the assist? Was he Chauncey Big Shot Billups? Was he not similar to Jalen Brunson now?
All right. Listen, you just proved my point right there. The only way that this worked, the leader, the captain of that team, the captain of that Detroit team was a pass-first point guard.
His name was Chauncey Big Shot Billups. His name was Chauncey Big Shots, not Chauncey Big Pass.
Chauncey Billups' game resembles Jason Kidd's game. Yes or no?
It was Chauncey Big Shots Billups, not Chauncey Big Pass Billups. He never averaged over 6 assists. It was big shots because he hit big shots. That's why they call him Big Shots Billups. Because he hit big shots in the final quarter.
Bro, Chauncey Billups know how to get his guys going, nigga.
What was his name? His name was Big Shots because he hit fourth quarter shots. He got his teammates involved. But his name was Big Shots.
He still utilized Ben Wallace. He was hitting him with
Ben Wallace is Mitch. Rasheed Wallace is Cat. Big Shot Billups is Brunson.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
Hamilton and Bridges.
Let me ask you a question. Is 6 assists better than 8 assists? No, but
what are we talking about? The whole point that he's talking about that is that when Dolan went on there, he was talking about he wants to make a team cohesiveness about teams. It wasn't about star chasing. That he wasn't star chasing. We're not just like the Giannis and KD talk. That's star chasing. He's not about star chasing because he knows that doesn't win. So Giannis and KD, forget about it. I think it was Buzzer Beater was talking about it. Forget KD and Giannis. That is not happening. It's who you have now and who can you get these guys now. Those star chasing. You're not gonna get a 37-year-old with a torn Achilles who hasn't won anything since the Bills won the Super Bowl.
Whoa. Slow down with the KD.
KD is the OG of has-beens. Oh, KD hasn't won anything since he was.
Slow down with the KD.
KD is irrelevant. KD is irrelevant.
26, 27 points on 50,
and
40,
won nothing. And won nothing.
Irrelevant.
He's won nothing.
He's won 2 titles.
With the greatest team in the history of NBA.
I don't care. He had to win it, though. He had to win it.
Go New Knicks.
Bro, listen, all of these, this last hour and a half has been like this bogus.
Boring titles. Get out of here, bro.
No one respects those wins. No one respects. No one respects those wins. New Knicks, yes or no? Yes or no on Mike Malone?
All of this has been bullshit. All these conversations has been bullshit. I'm gonna be right like always, like I always am. The Knicks are gonna get fucking the Knicks are gonna get fucking Jason Kidd or fucking or Mark Jackson, and y'all gonna be here like dummies saying.
See, again. See that. See your worst skill in the history of your life is listening. I said if Jason Kidd rebuts and says that he wants to take the job is his. I said it's Udoka, Jason Kidd, and after them is Mike Malone. That's what I said. But just in case, maybe you guys didn't hear it, you can replay gang, vilify me.
Yeah, I mean,
final thoughts.
This shit's just been blur, blah, blah. See,
For someone who doesn't watch the NBA, I get it.
No. I mean, it's just a whole bunch of bullshit because there's only 2 options for the city of New York City. Everything else is irrelevant, redundant, and it's not gonna work.
So your number one, Jason Kidd, then Mark Jackson. Got it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Special.
We might as well not have a podcast if we're only gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? That's what the podcast is for. You gotta look at your options, bro. Okay, we get it. Like, come on.
That's the whole purpose of this whole season. Because they're scouring because the whole point of that New Knicks is why they're scouring, because they'll be like, Leon doesn't have a plan. He's running blind. He's just out here with no thoughts. The whole purpose is that he's skilled. He's doing this on purpose, which we covered each session. M Special, your thoughts on a Mike Malone possibility, Mike Budenholzer, or TJ, or whatever your thoughts. Just final thoughts for you.
Oh, final thoughts. Well, I want with this team currently, I want somebody that's proven. That's just my preference, right? And there's only 2 guys that have proven track records, and that's Mike Malone and this other guy, right? I would love a Jason Kidd, right? I would love a Jason Kidd for the same ideas that New Knicks is talking about. But that's a far reach, right? Like a lot of shit would have to happen in order for us to get Kid. You know what I mean? So, and I just want to say it's a great day to be a Knicks fan. Okay, because we're talking about bringing in coaches to win a championship. Okay, not to bring us out of the cellar, right? You know what I'm saying?
Talk, nigga.
We're talking about winning championships in New York. Let's go.
Fucking struggle life. Let's go. I love that. You want what, New Knicks? I want problems. I want problems.
This is the problem I want.
Listen, a lot of people were saying it was a big deal for us to go to Brooklyn and snatch a player from up the block. Leon Rose is a nigga that sends out black roses and black bags. This is the language of this era.
They said we wouldn't get OG either.
Hey, hold on. Salute to Shot Powers. Salute to Shot Powers. Appreciate you, brother. Full brim salute for you. Shot Powers in the building. Salute. We appreciate you, my brother. Check them boys out. 718 boys in the building. Salute to them.
Salute. Welcome to the TOF. Shout out to the whole chat. Shout out to the replay game. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the 400 and plus subscribers we got. Yeah, I mean, greatly appreciate it.
Hey, while we're at it, Shot Powers, your thoughts.
It's good to be back talking Knicks after the little slump. But go ahead, say something.
Hey, Shot Powers, while I got you here and you're attentive right quick, which coaches are represented by CAA? That's a good one. Anyway, Shot Powers, real quick. Jason Kidd, Woodson, what's your coach at? Bryant, Brown, Mark Jackson, Malone, Taylor Jenkins, Budenhauser, or Malone. What are your thoughts? What do you guys say on your show, 718 Boys? If you ain't watching us, go watch them. They're a good show there. What are your thoughts? Who's the coach that you like out of there? And while we wait for his reply on there, 2 shots. We know who you really like. We know who you really want. What you want. Who's your guy? Who's your number 1 and number 2? And tell me about it.
Number 1 is your boy Johnny Boy. Number 2, you talked me into Malone, so I'm gonna go with Malone. And number 3, I mean, I don't really have a number 3. Some video coordinator from some team somewhere.
Hey, salute to Shot Power. Shot Power said meta world peace. I ain't mad at that.
Yeah.
I am not.
I refuse to call him that. He will always be Ron Artest. And I say that very respectfully.
Listen, hey. Queen's product in the building. I take that over everybody else. I think Ron Artest is the type of nigga to yoke one of the players up. Yeah, I mean, right there, like not even in the locker room. He'll just grab him by a jersey. Fuck you think you doing? Fuck you think you doing, nigga? Run the play. Run the fucking play that I said. And
hey. Once a Knick, always a Knick, right?
Hey.
Salute. Facts.
Hey.
So
salute.
But yeah. Me, I don't know. Me, I lost for words.
Let me salute to the chat real quick before we start checking out here. Salute to Buzzer Beater. Salute to Fritz Alcindor Jr. Salute to Keith Watkins in the building. Salute to Knicks Yak. Who else we got here? Keith Watkins, of course. Robert Woodard. Salute to you. Bodega Wi-Fi, first time. Let it not be the last time. We appreciate all your feedback. Great info on there for you. Appreciate you. Just Knicks in the building. Salute to you. Of course, we got Shot Powers in the building, the Bodega Boy, Mr. Man himself. 718 Boys, appreciate you. Nostalgic Knicks, salute to you. Appreciate you in the building. Dopest live chat, Dopest replay gang in the building. Appreciate you guys. Hopefully I didn't miss anyone. I'm scrolling here, see if I miss anybody. I think I got everybody in here. Machete, who's supposed to be over here in the pod, but he's in the chat. Salute to Machete.
He said he's having trouble sticking.
Don't even say his name. He doesn't even.
Don't give him no excuses. He got an Apple phone. He's an elitist. I got Apple. Apple or nothing. It's whatever. You got Samsung? Whatever. Anyway, salute to everybody out here.
That was a little spicy, bro.
Yeah, that
A
was
little
the.
spicy.
Is that your best
That
cat impression?
Yeah.
that was the cat back tattoo impression. Don't be disrespecting cat, bro. Okay, no more of that disrespect. Salute to,
Oh
okay.
shit.
Hey, so all that to run say, look, I don't think that the Knicks are running lost. They're running the ship without a
They're
rudder.
doing their due diligence.
I think they're doing their due diligence. I think what people don't see, Leon Rose is known for playing chess, not checkers. So he's never gonna show his hand. It's a poker game. You never show your face. You bluff. So he's not showing people what he's doing. I think he's canvassing the thing out there again. It's a unit. The whole front office is trying to work team together. So now they got Leon Rose guy out of there. Go ahead.
Real quick, didn't he take like a month to hire Thibbs?
He took a little while because again, the front office, the same type of thing. I think he already had Thibbs in his pocket, but he kind of interviewed people. But what they didn't do last time, they didn't do what they're doing right now. That the front office
The whole
wanted him
league?
to canvas to see what other opportunities are out there. That they felt they went too quick on Thibodeau and not canvas. So that's why they're doing it now. So what you're seeing now is that they're canvassing, giving out their shots, applying. Doesn't mean that they're striking out on purpose. That they don't know that they're going to get rejected. Obviously, if you got your best employer, you're not going to want to let them go. But the employer should say, you know what, I think I want to quit and go with this other, employer.
Or
So
was
that's
it
why they
no,
leave.
no more
You leave Papito's coffee to go to Starbucks. You know what I'm saying? You leave Papito's coffee to go to Starbucks. So they're trying. Now it's up to the coach. I think Jason Kidd has a window. So to New Knicks, he wants Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd, I think, has maybe a week. Should have no more than a week. If you don't hear from Jason Kidd after a week, it's pretty much done.
Afuera.
Afuera. So he's gonna have a week. The team quit. Now it's up to him to say, yo, I wanna really take this job, and then they negotiate on how that works. New Knicks is saying what, 3 days? There's no way more than 3 days. 3 days? All right. Within a week. So by next Sunday, we should be seeing if Jason Kidd is in the window, he's gonna be the guy. It's for sure gonna be Jason Kidd because Jalen Brunson wanted him. Jalen Brunson played with him. So they're listening to the players at who they want as a tier. There's a tier of coaching for players and front office. Jason Kidd, after Udoka, in my opinion, was that guy, Udoka, Kidd, and then whoever else they're looking at. If Kidd doesn't come free, then I think you're looking at a Malone, Budhauser, TJ, and that facet afterward. So that's just my opinion. We'll see. Salute to everybody. Shy Power says took like 2 months and 15 peeps. So Shy Power says it took more than 2 months even with Thibbs. Even though Thibbs wanted the job, they knew they wanted him. They were canvassing. But again, at that time, they were looking at who's available, and they didn't think to ask permission at that time. So they were looking at who's available instead of just seeing if they could pry a team out of there. Would they be willing to give picks or draft picks or some kind of compensation to get said coach? Now that they know that they're in a different position, the Knicks are in a different, because back then when they're trying to get Thibbs, nobody wanted to coach for New York. Now it's a different scenario. Now we got elite talent. We're just fighting for the ECF. We're in a different bracket than we were when Thibbs was getting hired. So now it's a different position. It's a choice position now. Now it would be appealing for a coach to want to leave what they're currently doing to come over here. So that's why they're canvassing in comparison to when Thibbs wanted to do it. We were a 17-win team. Nobody wanted that. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to take out the grunt work. Salute to Thibbs for doing that grunt work and getting us to a respectable position. So all salute to Thibodeau. Appreciate you for all that you've done. We definitely appreciate you. Love what you did for us, even though it goes unappreciated by half the fan base. We definitely appreciate that out there. But we're going to be looking. I don't think it's going to take more than the next 2 weeks. I think within the next 2 weeks, maybe till after the draft, because I think they want to get a coach before the draft happens. If they have a draft, which I don't think we have any draft picks, but at least for sure before a training camp. So that way that coach can implement what he wants to do and to see if you trade players. Do you want to keep a Precious who's out of a contract? Do you want to keep a Shamit? Do you want to keep a Campaign who's not under, you know what I'm saying? So that coach can implement what he wants to do. So you should see it no more. I don't think no more than 3 weeks we should see who's going to be the head coach at that point.
For Shamit and Campaign, everybody else is good to go.
I'm with Champagne and Precious. For sure they should stay, in my opinion. Final takes for you, 2 shots. Final shots for the family out here at the chat.
Yeah, man. Nah, it's
Outro.
good to be back. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the panel, chat, replay gang. Get the likes up, get the subscribes up. Get us to 500 before the start of next season. Yeah, and I'm just excited, and I'm ready for the next chapter.
New Knicks, outro for you. Thoughts, coach, outro. What your thoughts going into the new season? How we ended the season?
Shit, boy. Shout out to Thibbs once again for everything you've done for the culture, for New York City, for my city, my squad. I greatly appreciate it. You set the culture, you set a standard for other coaches to try to leap over. And like everybody here, we thought he deserved at least one more year. That's not the case, but like I said, everybody on this podcast will be wrong at the end of the week. Dolan will bring in Jackson or Jason Kidd, one of those two, and I'll be right, and the rest of the cast here will be fumbling their words on Johnny No Name Bryant, Coach Teeth, Coach Butterworth, and whoever else.
Shout out to Philstradamus in the building.
All right, M Special in the building. Final takes, final thoughts on who you would like as the options that we did. Any outros to Thibodeau and final output of the season for the Knicks as we approach a new season.
Shout out to the panel. Shout out to chat. Shout out to the replay gang. We at 421 right now, so we need to get to 500 by season
We got
3.
two today.
Wait, this is season 3, isn't it? Season 4. Man, I don't think I saw Shy say something in the chat saying that we might not make a move till after the finals. I kind of agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Let the season fizzle out, and then that's when the Knicks are gonna make a move. But hey, man, like I said, it's a great time to be a Knicks fan. We're talking about bringing in coaches to win championships, not turn us around from the laughing stock of the NBA. You know what I mean? We just need somebody to come in and just rehone what Thibbs started, and then change what Thibbs didn't do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think we should have a great year next season if we get the right guy.
Big fact.
Yeah.
I love the feedback you did. Salute to everybody. Live chat, replay gang. Salute to Shot Power 718 boys. Go check them boys out. Appreciate you. I do agree. Till after the finals, it may not something go out, but I definitely think the conversations are had right now, the negotiations are being had right now as far as a coach. That's the most important thing before we make that next move. Salute to the chat. Salute to Buzzer Beater for giving me the option to put I was about to say poll, but to put a survey out there, a census out there, and 55% of people are not happy with the firing of Thibbs. So that's
pretty much the fan base. 50-50.
That's pretty much 50-50. It's 50-50. That's I tell you, always 50-50. But 50% believe what we do, you do, what you say. So that's pretty much the fan base on there. Salute to Thibodeau.
Hey, quick request. Hey, Machete, bring your ass in and sign out to Thibbs, bro. You own that respect. Take your ass out the chat.
Hey, it wouldn't be my brother if he wasn't interrupting. I love my brother. My brother's
we didn't
special,
make
but
that many left turns.
It's surprisingly because we had a lot of topics. Say salute to New Knicks for staying within the gradual curve. It was a slight. And there he is.
There he is.
You called. You called. Hey, before.
You called, he answered.
You shall receive.
Ask and you shall receive. Go ahead, Machete. Outro for you, sir.
Greatly appreciate your pop-up, sir. Thibbs will greatly appreciate your respect.
No, I was just keeping it in the chat, man. I couldn't connect. I just got home and I had to be on the Wi-Fi to connect. So, anyways, I heard everything you guys talked about. It was good. You guys had talk great shit, man. It was great content. Please like, subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next one. We don't know when will be the next one. We'll see maybe after the draft. July 3rd, is it? After the 4th of July weekend, we'll see. I don't think anything's gonna happen till after that. You know, I like J Kidd, then I like Mike Malone, and then I like Jenkins. But you know, we'll see what happens. But I think the one that might blend in the best and the most smooth for the, you know, you guys didn't talk about Jay Will because I was mentioning it in the chat. You guys didn't respond. You guys talk about Jay Will, their ex-coach.
Nah,
I mean,
I'm
No,
good on college coaches. I'm straight on that.
We can't hear you texting, bro.
you can read though, can't you?
Not if we don't have a
Well,
secondary.
I didn't see it,
Or you
so
can't read. You can't read and talk in the video and watch the video at the same time.
I have one device, my friend. I don't have the
Okay.
luxury of
And
being.
I switched back to Android. Well, I
Let's
told you that
go.
last time. I
Let's
told you that
go.
last time. That's
Get
why I'm
out.
having trouble connecting.
Galaxy gang. Well,
Shouts out, everybody. Enjoy the summer.
yo,
We got the 50th.
Hey,
You talk about the 50th pick in the draft we're gonna get. Is that the first one? Is that the second round? Well,
bro,
is that the first 50th pick
guy?
in the draft?
Lay first.
Miguel Machete, I asked you to respectfully have words for Thibodeau. That's the only reason why I invited you back from the chat.
Outro
You
for
have not
Thibodeau.
said
Thoughts on
nothing
Thibodeau?
Thibbs, you know, salute, sir. Thank you for your
Tibbs,
time.
for the job you did.
Thank you for your time.
Enjoy
No,
your severance
seriously.
package
I was with
wherever
you the
you
whole
at.
time.
Hold on, 2 shots. Hold on, 2
Don't
shots.
listen to him. Don't listen to him. Mute his mic. Yo, salute to Thibbs. I really didn't want to see him gone. It was the news that came out was that they wanted him out already. So, you know, it was already the handwriting was on the wall. We couldn't do anything about it. Thank you for taking us to the Eastern Conference Finals. I wish it could have gone further, but the refs are full of shit. The NBA was full of shit. ESPN, fucking TNT, they were all against you, Thibbs, and now they're laughing. Now they're ha laughing. The Knicks don't know what they're doing. F them. And thank you for the post that you took out in the New York Times, because you're a class act, sir. Thank you very much. Enjoy your retirement if you retire. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.
I appreciate you. Great.
That 30 mil is going to hit different with a little fucking mojito.
Hey, so appreciate that. Salute to the chat again. Humberto de la O says, I only trust Leon and Wes. I do agree with you there. I do agree with their judgment on there. Salute to Thibodeau. Wonderful job that you did. It will never be forgotten. It goes into the history books as far as how long New York was out of prominence, and now we're in that mecca. We're in that area code that we can be spoken about in high regard. Salute to you just for that. Great job there. We're going to be seeing what happens with West, Leon, what they do, the front office. We spoke about it. Let us know what you guys think in the chat, the live gang, replay gang on there. Who you think the coach is going to be. I think it's either, as New Nick said, J Kidd. If he doesn't fight for it this week, I'm going for Mike Malone. Overall, my opinion. It's going to be exciting. Let's keep our positivity on this Knickerbockers, what we got going on. And if you don't know, it's the summertime. A lot of people's going to be in and out of podcasts. And hopefully you're hitting that bell notification so you know when we going live, when we do these pop-ups. I need you guys to say prayers for me when I deal with my brother and my brothers and my brothers. They drive me crazy that sometimes I can lose my emotional. I get a lot of emotional damage. But I love my brothers. Salute to everybody here. Salute to all you guys in the chat. We appreciate you guys. Go New Knicks. What other emotional damage grenade?
That's my brothers. When you jumped off the building and the ledge, we threw you the fucking rope before you hit the fucking ground, nigga. So
you threw it after I hit the ground. You threw it after I hit the ground.
You're fucking
They said, "Oops."
And number two, hey, my last shout out to Thibbs. Hey, you made history. Your history will never be erased. You did it.
Hey, we out here. So appreciate you
He
guys. Salute to you
gone.
guys. And yo,
Son of a bitch.
before we sign out, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Salute to everybody
sir.
on this panel chat. Salute to M Specials, my godfather, my children. These are the fathers out there. Salute to all the fathers, the real ones out there. If you be out there with your kids, go cuddle with your kids, play time, spend time, even if it's 5 minutes. It means the world to your children. Fathers mean the world. All right, you guys are the foundation of what it is to be with your family. Represent that.
love my babies.
All right. So, hey, all the fathers out there, salute to you guys. You guys are the foundation of it all. Go out there, represent, be a daddy. Even 10 minutes means the world to your children. Call them, video chat with them. We got a lot of technology, whatever it is, spend time with your children. It means the world to them more than you know. Happy Father's Day to everybody in the chat, everybody in the panel, everybody in the replay gang. Happy Father's Day to you guys. We out of here. You heard? Let's go.
Yo,
Happy Father's Day.
shout out to Machete. Shout out to Two Shots. Shout out to like the specialist for holding us down, like always, rushing from work and doing this due diligence. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the subscribers. Shout out to Knicks Nation. We still here. We still rocking. It's Knicks first. Before
Happy
anything,
Father's Day to Thibodeau for his son of the Knicks. The team Knicks is his Thibodeau sons. Happy Father's Day to Thibodeau's. We out of here. You heard?
Land the plane. Land the plane. Later.
Forbes and Fields in the building. My God, what's good?
And I salute the new Knicks. Let's get it.
Shout out to the new Knicks.
The new Knicks, salute my guy.
The New Knicks, the organic podcast.
Sounds like it's about to go down in here. Going down. New York City, NYC, Brooklyn, Staten in the Bronx.